Live from my basement, it's Thursday night. Woo! Welcome to Dave's Maginations. Dave's Maginations presents... What do we present? We don't really have a name yet, but...
It's right here.
We have not settled on a name yet. So this is... I have turned over the DM seat. Oh, it looks blank on this. You have to make a noise, Noel.
Apparently, I have to talk.
Apparently, you have to talk.
Part of being a DM. I suppose.
Part of being a DM is the DM has to talk. Oh. And what do they say in Shrek? Getting the donkey to talk isn't the problem. Getting him to shut up is a problem.
Yeah.
And who do you think is the donkey? Me. No. Yeah. I think I'm the donkey. So welcome to Dave's Maginations. Tonight we're going to start a new campaign. 3-shot, 4-shot. We don't know how long. It could be. We were talking before the session that it could be 3 weeks, 3 sessions, or it could be 3 months, or it could be 3 years. Just depends how much we're having fun and how much we want to do and how long it takes us to do stuff. Oh, I see Mom Carol has sent a text. That's not for us, though. So I've turned over the reins of the Dungeon Master seat to Noel. He's going to take over. There will be an official name. This is going to be a Varinka of the Gold Tribe anthology, but we haven't given the session, the adventure, a name yet. Maybe we will, maybe we won't.
Yeah. He
has ideas. I also don't have a snappy intro video. I do have a generic intro video, but it's nothing like I normally do. Eventually, I want to create a generic one that I can use all the time, and I don't have to think up a new one every time we do another quest. But I'm not there yet. Haven't done it yet. So if any of you are good at computer animation and would like to create a video for me, or work with me to create a video, that'd be fun. Anyway, so without much more ado, why don't you, right there, I know I told you to do the owlbear, but why don't you hit the top, the second from the top, is just start a little dragon intro.
might be a black dragon. There is one there.
Ooh. Spoiler alert. Now you have to click on owlbear again. We're back to here. Take it away.
So, for those of you, many listeners out there, we had a teaser earlier this week, and I started out, so I'll just recap that for everybody here. It's a night of revelry as the city of Redux celebrates the peace returning to the Anorak Desert, or at least there's less chaos. You find yourselves in a crowded tavern as you've recently arrived for your own purposes, but who doesn't like a good party? You see a long table of capable-looking heroes enjoying themselves. They're surrounded by officials and maidens, and you get the impression the party is all about them, but they're really having their own party, and it's private. Before you know it, it's late in the evening, and it feels like the party is about to end, and this is where we begin. So you find yourselves all in this room, in the tavern. It's busy, music's blaring, everybody's having a great old time. And everybody's just really relaxed and enjoying themselves. Why don't you tell me where you would situate yourself in the room, in the tavern, and we'll just go around from Dave down the line.
So, in a very fancy attire dress is a tabaxi, and she is carousing the crowd, carousing meaning talking to, gathering information, and she has a little bit of an entourage. She has 2 ladies and a gentleman with her, and she is mingling amongst the crowd, and she would be looking around for the person that might be the wealthiest, anyone of nobility, anyone of importance. She's going to chat up, as she is an ambassador, philanthropist, who is setting up orphanages, setting up people, finding people to adopt the orphans from the war that has ravaged the Sword Coast. The green tide has come through, caused so many moms and dads have died, and this lady Choupette, Lady Choupette, is a philanthropist. She's talking to people and she might come up to one of you and say, well, it looks like you could use a squire, young man. Couldn't you use a young lad to help you carry your stuff and take under your wings to learn the trade?
This is perfect for your opportunity for you to introduce yourself.
So she came up to him?
Sure. What is your name?
Viltor Tears.
Viltor.
Tears.
Viltor Tears. You're a dragonborn.
I am indeed.
Of course, that's obvious. How shouldn't I say that for the crowd and for our audience? And in fact, you would have a picture of Viltir in the. If you go to the Finder window up at the very top, and I think one of those says Viltir, doesn't it?
Yes.
The bottom one. So that's what he might look like, right?
Yes, that's what it does look like.
Wouldn't you like a young squire to teach your trade? And these orphans, there is an abundance of young ones without strong parental guidance, without strong leadership. And we would hate for these young people to fall into the wrong hands. They would be much better off with someone that is your apparent character.
Oh my, quite the intro. Well, I certainly do respect the notion of the importance of guidance in a young person.
Well, that's great. I can have him within the new moon. He'll be here, and I can have him here in Redux, and he can be under your care. So I just need a small background check, and just to make sure you are the upstanding character you seem to be, and we'll get you set with a young squire. What would you like two?
No.
Maybe a male and a female.
No. And I'm not even sure that I could handle one. I am here at the behest of one of my former mentors, and my understanding is there's some serious business that needs to be taken care of, and it's probably not fitting for a young one to follow along.
How else will they learn?
Indeed, but there's a time and place for learning, and potentially dangerous situations are not that. So while I have the utmost respect, and he would reach into his pouch and pull out a few gold. Let's advance your cause.
Oh, thank you.
It's the least I can do.
For every coin goes directly to the Orphans of Grumpsh Fund. We call them the poor oogles. The oogles need your support. Every coin goes straight to them. And she goes, here, Eloise, please put this in our coffers. And what was your name? And would say, Charlemagne, let's take his name. What was your name? Viltor Tears. Tears. And write down, put that in your log, how much he would donate. Your name has now been recorded as a donor to the Oogles Fund.
Excellent.
How about anyone else? Who else do we have here?
So that takes care of the two of you.
Mm-hmm.
How would you be presented in the tavern?
Yeah. So,
are we in the Almirage?
Yes, it's Almirage Tavern.
Okay.
Biggest tavern they have in Redux, which is an underground city.
You all remember this was the underground city that we were in before. Yeah.
So, my character is appears human. He's just kind of sitting with his cape and his hood, maybe somewhere near the middle, but off maybe by a wall. But it just kind of observing and listening. But you know, maybe chatting with someone here and there if they come up to him, but not overtly starting conversations. Just more observing with a drink, a ridiculously big drink.
It presents human.
Yes.
So I guess high level, just to, and we'll play the scene out probably later. Is my thought is Christiana is gonna pull Soria in, but that probably won't happen until the basically
Tomorrow.
that Varinka disappears basically,
Varinka, yeah. Okay.
or that it's
Yep. Okay.
So but Soria is there.
Yeah. What's she doing there?
Who's doing the music?
That's a good question. I guess
She could be. That could be your intro.
if the other bard is no longer there, then Soria.
No, there was no other bard other than. So when we were there the last time, it was the elf that had
elf
overtaken the bar.
Right.
Well, they've kind of moved on.
Okay. Yeah. So Soria would Soria Whisperwind. She's the bar's bard, the house bard.
The house bard. That's absolutely right.
Putting it.
Bard.
And that's what I had in my mind.
Yeah. She would be there, performing, singing her songs. The Bedine inspired songs.
It's local music.
Music,
Inspired by local sounds.
Occasionally, she'll throw in like one of the popular bard songs, with a Bedine twist on it.
Right.
But
Absolutely.
All right, and then Ken.
I think PR is exhausted from his long travels, so he came in, got a drink, maybe was seen by a few people, in which case you would notice he's got a gnarly scar on his shoulder and lots of tattoos and lots of piercings. But he paid for a room and went to bed because he's tired.
I'm sure he was hungry from his long travels.
Probably true as well.
Those long travels were probably days ago.
Maybe. Anyways, you would take a meal for the evening, right? I assume
Yes,
all of you would
definitely.
be
No,
eating
we're
and
not
enjoying
set out on
it.
food.
Sure.
All right, so you guys were sitting there enjoying and looking around and seeing all the sights and music, and could you all roll me a perception?
Okay.
almost got a natural 20.
22.
22 is high.
18.
18. 22 is still the winner.
29.
29 for the tabaxi.
Well, it
Can
is.
you beat that, Ken?
No, 22.
All right, so the 29.
I have a
So,
plus 10.
13.
And I have a plus 10, and I got the second worst. Somehow.
Yeah.
So
Skills are kind of her thing.
Parducci is, working the room, and she's definitely looking for the opportune people, but she just happens to know it's late in the night. She locks eyes for a moment with a man across the room, and I got a picture here, if I can pull it up. So, yeah, she's working the room. She's looking around for all the people that she's already worked over, and she notices there's a man standing behind the pole, and
Is it the person in front of the pole or actually the shorter guy behind the pole?
the shorter one behind it.
Oh.
He's really been, observing everybody, and you notice him a couple times during the night, and you feel like he's just not, something's not right. He doesn't look like he belongs. I'd say you think about going over to him, and again, the crowd is moving. It's pretty packed in there. As soon as you get up and you start to walk towards him, some people walk by and he vanishes. He's gone. Any reaction you want to do for that? To that?
Well,
I mean,
and with my 29 perception roll, did he literally dissolve into thin air, or did he duck behind something and just?
You get the impression your eyesight was obscured for a tenth of a second, long enough for someone to duck, or make some sort of elusive move to get away from you. You don't see any, vapor or smoke or anything.
As Parducci, casually glanced, she was not fixated on it. So it makes sense that it wasn't like staring the person down the whole time, because she was talking to people. She would look every once in a while, and would she have seen him like doing thievery type stuff in the crowd?
He didn't seem to be sizing up people. You've become well equipped with the knowledge of how to see thieves that would be pickpocketing or sizing someone up to steal money from. And you didn't get the impression he was interested in money. He was interested in the people and the goings on. And with that 29 perception, you would obviously notice that he was looking at the private party with like a real intense focus.
Badine?
No, he was not Badine. He's definitely a human, though, and he was wearing dark brown, attire, typical leather, studded leather.
Any indication of his trade or class?
Boy, you get the impression that he wasn't some fighter or.
He was?
He was not a fighter. He was not a wizard. He wasn't some sort of magic user.
Yeah.
But he definitely was fitted for the desert. So he definitely looked like he was a capable person. He's not. He could have been a thief if he wasn't so intensely focused. And you were picking up on those vibes. And just, as you're contemplating who was he and why do I care, the door opens and you see what looks like the back of him go out the door. I would say the rest of you kind of notice pieces of that with anybody that was over 18. So, is there anything you want to do before you turn in for the night?
So, at some point, Vernon would go to the bar, get a drink, and bring it to the bard. And, just as
The hello bard. The hello bard.
Hello, Bard. Yeah. Did you see her?
No.
Oh.
Just as a...
Remember, it was the AI.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Hello, Bard.
So just sort of as a, my compliments and next, just next time you take a break, I'd like a word.
Now, are you new here?
Yes.
Or okay, so you're not a regular or anything,
Right.
Okay. And she'll, thank you for the compliments, and I guess next time you need a break.
Hey, you are right. I mean, you're the normal one for the bar, right?
Yeah.
So the bartender would know what. So whatever wine or whatever.
Yeah, very frequent to the bar. This, everyone in the works here by name. They know you by name. You're performing here multiple times a week. They know what you like to drink, whether it's alcoholic or not, right?
And it's not the first time that.
Probably not the first time that a gentleman has, or not so gentleman has bought her a drink.
But I'm sorry to know she can handle it herself.
So a couple sets go by, and you go ahead and take your break. Do you take him up on the offer?
Sure. She always likes a good story. Wants to. I mean, it's a key part of being, a bard is collecting stories. So she would.
So he would just say, I actually came to town to reconnect with an old friend, and but I haven't been able to find her. And why am I blanking on
Varinka.
Rika.
Varinka? Blanking on her name all the time.
You've only heard her name once, but it's gonna just
No,
sits on your lips.
we adventured. She's a friend. We adventured together in the past, and
I don't think you've described yourself
Oh, that's right.
either.
Yeah, you want to describe your character?
Describe your character.
he's average size human, dark hair. Although his eyes do have kind of a green tint to them,
Green tint.
and a little bit green, maybe just a little bit of olive tinge to his skin. No, he's human. He's got a cape and a hood, and also a spear, a sort of rough stone pointed spear.
Okay. And what is your name?
Vernon
Vernon.
Kakak.
So Soria will stand up on the table, strum a loud chord,
Oh god.
and yell out, "Is there a Varinka in here?"
And
Nope.
Varinka would pop her head up.
There's a
Realize you're
Okay.
standing on the table and she's laughing.
Because I
If
figured
she's
you
drunk on her
would
butt
know
at this
her if
point.
she's normally around, but maybe you don't. But
may or may not have been introduced.
okay, well she's here. Okay,
She's
So
there, but
was
she goes right back into the business of the table that
Was
she's at.
was she in that private party?
The private party group. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'm trying to think if does so she just looks up like how obvious, I guess.
She just looks up, laughs. She heard her name. She sees you're doing your music, and then she goes back into
Okay.
the conversation she was having.
So well, gee, I guess why didn't I think of that? Thank you.
No one commands a room like the bard, though.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to be discreet, and Soria owns
Well,
owns the
yeah,
atmosphere of the
no,
place, right?
sure.
So, I guess what I'm trying to get is does Soria know that? Yeah, I think Soria would know Varinka.
Yeah, she should.
Maybe not at a personal
Maybe
level.
not personally, but
Acquaintance.
no. She
Kind of
is.
hard to miss a Goliath female in town.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
I did somehow.
She was hunkered at the table.
maybe if you come back tomorrow night.
when she's not busy, you're saying.
Oh, she's not telling you that Varinka is in the room. She's telling you.
Varinka stood up when you
No,
said her
no,
name.
No, Varinka looked
Looked
up,
up.
laughed, and then
And
went
laughed
back.
and then went back.
Oh, and I
Oh,
didn't see that.
Yeah.
Did you roll a perception check?
13.
You looked around, and there's just so many people that are around that table. You did not get a good look, but she was standing on the table,
Yeah.
so she was able to see enough of Varinka to pop her head up.
Maybe if you come back tomorrow night, she'll be here.
Oh, so you saw her. You're not,
Well,
you're gonna go for
clearly
another
she's
free drink?
not. Yeah.
So, since you're telling a fib, why don't you roll me a deception check?
This should be easy, I hope.
Versus his insight, maybe.
Well, he just rolled. I don't know.
Well,
Rolled.
it would have been easy if I didn't roll a natural 1.
Oh,
But
so
I still do have a +9, so it's 10. It's
Alright,
still
so-
not, yeah.
you got a 10. So you feel like she wasn't being completely honest with you, but like, do you want to? Why would she not tell you the truth? So you find yourself kind of like in this quizzical situation where do you probe further?
Well, yeah. So maybe I figured. Assume you're obviously well known here. You perform here often, so if and I think Varinka's been here for
A couple
a while, so
So here's what Soria will do. She'll get down from the table. She'll sit across from you and say, "Never mind this Varinka gal. Tell me your story."
I would give you an insight check with advantage if you wanted to see through the subterfuge.
19.
So you feel like she's definitely changing the conversation,
Yeah.
but she seems genuine about it. She does want to get to know you.
Yeah. Well, I was raised in faraway land, but I've been here and there on the Sword Coast now for many years, picking up work, odd job as a adventurer here and there. And Varinka's an old friend who I've adventured with before, and she asked me to come here and find her Well, I'm not exactly sure what she had in mind, but
What's the biggest monster you've ever slain?
oh gosh. So I think, if I remember it,
Is your name an anagram?
I'm sorry. So I think Varinka and myself and our party actually found ourselves in a land that was constantly dreary. It never saw the sun. It was ruled by a vampire. This entire land, several towns, and we were eventually able to free his grip on the land and stop the it wasn't I don't know if it's slave trading, but it was people were being taken there, conscripted to go. I don't remember it was exactly slavery, but basically taken there against their will and forced to stay there. And
Death. They're being turned. If I remember.
They're being used to populate the land.
it was that there was
They were free. They
taking
were
down a few dragons here and there.
Forcefully relocated, but
Yeah. Helped disrupt the orc horde to a certain extent when they were
she would.
raiding the land.
We don't have to get into like all the details, but she would poke and pry about the details, and then she would say it's quite a fascinating story. I think I could make a song out of that.
Well, and yeah, I suppose if you want something colorful to throw into your song, it would be that I'm known to be a man with an iron stomach. I'll eat anything.
Anything. And I assume the bar here has like local food. I don't know what local food is around here.
I mean, it's just between three different regions, so it could have quite a little different sampling of different things, and the Blood Hunter College, I don't know what you want to call it. It probably brings people in from all over.
So Soria would say, "Well, my break time is over, but I'm going to put you to the test on that." And as she gets up to go back and start playing again, she'll take a swing by the bar and she'll order, I don't know,
Weirdest
the weirdest thing on the menu and have it sent over to you.
Rams balls? What?
Something like that.
Okay. All right. It's late
scorpion on a cracker.
I was down in Texas the other week, and the word Rocky Mountain oysters available on the table for us, and I passed.
So,
Coward.
you go back to singing, and within a few moments of you getting back on stage, but before you really get into a song, you hear the bartender said, "We're all out of beer."
Half the bar gets up.
So it's pretty late, and so it takes a lot to go through it all. But this big party did it. PR, what would you be doing? And can you describe yourself?
Oh, well, was there a last call? Was he able to get a final drink?
Yeah, oh yeah,
Okay, good. So in that case, he's nursing his final beer before giving up and going to bed. So this has been a long day.
Hey, can you describe your character?
Yeah, he did once already.
Oh,
He did once already.
yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't
Yes.
realize that.
that's also true.
Okay.
You see,
I can just
you're a human or-
Sure.
Tattoos, piercings,
Human.
Scars.
get tattoos,
Here,
far as you know.
oh,
piercings,
sorry, now. Okay.
scars.
presents human.
Yes.
Okay.
Identify
Wearing
as
epic
human.
sandals. It's got a really cool cape.
Epic sandals, really cool cape.
Epic sandals.
So,
Nike swoosh.
you see quickly the bar starts to empty, right? The after party's got more alcohol than this place, so let's go. So you all retire for the evening at this place, I assume.
Yeah.
And you all go to sleep. You don't feel like you drank well. You felt good, and you sleep like babies. Like you don't think you've ever slept this good. Why don't you guys all roll Constitution save for me? And this will determine what time you wake up in the morning.
Constitution save.
Constitution. Great saving throw.
12.
9.
17.
17.
9.
9.
8.
8. So, PR, you get up about, 8 o'clock in the morning. There's quite a commotion going on, but you don't know what the deal is yet. There's foot traffic happening in the hallways upstairs. People going in and out of a room. Guards are there. The bartender is there. There's a maid there that she's pretty upset. And I'll give you the first opportunity. Do you try to walk over there and see what's going on, or do you go downstairs and order your breakfast?
Okay. So I'll do one of those casuals. I walk by because it's none of my business, but I'm going to slow down and take a peek in because I'm curious. You know those people on the interstate where there's an accident and
Rubberneck.
there's no reason for you to be slowing down?
Mowing your lawn in the
So
snow
are
so you
you,
can-
so how slow are you going? Like really slow?
Noticeably.
or-
I would imagine if someone didn't want me there, they could easily tell I was going much too slow and paying too much attention, and they could shoo me away. But,
roll a
fast
performance.
enough. I
Roll
don't imagine. A what check? Sorry.
a performance check.
Easy. 7.
So you get about, you start slowing down a little bit, and you really start rolling your eyes, and just then a guard turns around, and he's like, "Mind your business, and move along." And you manage to see in the room that it's disheveled, and you can see that the bed's been overturned, and the torches are on the ground, and things are just flailed out all over the place. Like
It's a fire hazard.
like a fight happened in there, like a big brawl happened in there. And that's what you see. And you move along, I assume, like you're instructed.
Yep. Move along. Go downstairs. Get some coffee.
And I think 9's for the next highest.
I had a 12.
Oh, 12. 12's next. So, Parducci, you get up, you come out your room. Again, much commotion going outside. Maybe even one of your assistants comes in. Something's going on down there, out there. What do you want to do?
I missed a little bit of the screw. I'll go check it out. Yeah.
There's people coming and going in the hall.
So we're
Commotion
in
with guards.
the Almirage.
Yeah.
You're saying has upper levels, has levels of rooms above it.
Right.
All right. And we heard this commotion. The commotion was down in the bar area.
No, it's
It was
in the halls.
In the halls.
Of the
Where the rooms are.
And so, I'll take a peek and see who's there. Yeah.
Same deal. Go ahead and roll a performance check
Performance.
to see if you manage to look without being.
Yeah. Performance. All right. 15. 14 on the die.
So again, you see a disheveled room. You happen to be.
So I look into another one of the apartment hotel rooms.
You're not looking into Varinka's or this disheveled one.
Okay.
You are.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you look into this room. Again, the guards are there, moving around. They're looking. They're trying to figure out what's going on. There's There's the innkeeper and the bartender in there, and all inside this room looking around, trying to figure out what's happened.
Suppose throughout the evening, I was talking to everyone.
Sure.
Would I have been... I was drumming up support for the orphans, this orphanage, right? And I was trying to get people to commit to taking on wards, whether it was a squire or whatever it was. Would I have talked to Varinka?
You would have absolutely talked to that table.
Uh-huh.
The mayor was there. Jericho was there.
Uh-huh. I'd probably already talked to those two.
Right. So Varinka was there, and you would have done your rounds with her as well.
Uh-huh.
And, she really wasn't super interested until you mentioned not letting these orphans become slaves.
Yeah.
And then you got her attention, and she gave you 100 gold pieces.
But she didn't commit to having one.
No.
Yeah. All right.
She's doing too much stuff.
Yep. Got it.
That.
Yeah. So and so I'd be interested what happened to this benefactor, right? But I look and I get shooed away.
So you had a
15.
15. So you look in there, you see the disheveled, but you also have a keen eye for fine objects.
Yeah.
You see that her glaive is there. And, it's a very nice glaive. She wouldn't have left it behind. Nobody would leave that behind. You saw that she has a rucksack there that's still there. And it's a backpack. Nobody travels without their backpack. And you would also notice that the room is extremely disheveled. But it also seems like she didn't put up so much of a struggle. She didn't break the wall. She didn't break the windows.
What is the hubbub? What are the guards saying? What's the conversation?
They are saying, she brought this upon herself. She's, always involved with these things. These sand creatures. She was messing around with the Bedines, starting fights because they heard the stories that they, got involved with the Bedine out in the desert. And I will even say that you, with your perception...
So what would have happened is they would have been talking... They might have even shooed her away. But if she thought there was something untoward going on, she would have slipped on her cloak and come out and done more of a wallflower to get more of a sense of what was really going on. So they would speak more freely without thinking I was there.
Okay, so
you're
walking past the room. Here's the room. You see the guards, and they're talking while you're looking in the room, and you're listening to all of this.
Yeah.
You hear them talking about how the Bedine might have, had something to do with this.
Like who might have done it,
Right.
or I don't know. Would they allow me to just stand there?
Well, are you going to stand there?
Well, I was.
You're just slow walking.
My first time out, I was just curious what was going on. Right,
Then you walk back.
So I had my nightgown on, right, and I was just curious, and I was standing there. I was watching until they noticed me. How do they react when they notice that I'm just standing there, rubbing my eyes and seeing what's going on?
Man, there's nothing to see here.
Yeah, they would shoot me away, right?
Yeah.
And I would have gleaned that something has happened to Varinka. She's missing, and they're talking about it, and I might still be interested in that conversation.
You could pursue that conversation. Now that they've said just shoo along, what would you like? So you just go away.
This was that Goliath's room, right?
Yes. The heroes. Goliath.
The hero Goliath. She's missing? How could someone like that go missing?
Well, that's what we're trying to understand. And you sense there's okay, I'm not really supposed to be talking to you about this, but you're a nice lady. I'm not going to be
rude.
Yeah.
Right.
Have you watched Elsbeth yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will watch it. Have you watched it? It's a quirky detective TV show. So I could just see her doing it at Elsbeth.
With her 3 bags always. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Everywhere she goes.
So she kind of leans in and says, "But why wouldn't they take her fancy weapon there?"
That is a great question, man. We're gonna have to ask you to leave.
And probably my attendants pull me away, right? They might have come out with pull me away, and I just start talking to my attendants like, this doesn't make any sense. How could someone like that happen? And they know my alter ego, right? And so I'm gonna go get a better look. And so I grab my cloak, right?
Okay.
Woof. And all right, open the door, step out, take one last peek, and I'll sneak out when you do. They open the door, so if they might see one of the attendants, but then I sneak out, and maybe I even get on the ceiling, right?
Okay.
Assuming it's some sturdy looking.
Yeah, sure.
And so much harder to detect. The people can move freely, and I wouldn't
And I
get.
believe the Tabaxi can.
Oh yeah, they
without
walk
penalty, right?
without penalty. Yeah, that they completely walk on walls, ceilings.
Okay. And the other thing is,
Tabaxi / monk / thief. We got that covered in a number of different ways.
so I'm not gonna make you roll for it and all that stuff. Is what I'm saying.
Cloaks make
And
you
then
invisible?
the other thing is, this cloak is a cloak of invisibility.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're now invisible, climbing on the ceiling.
Ceiling kind of.
So okay, you make your maneuver into the room, avoiding people.
Yeah, and kind of. Yeah.
And I envision guards at the door looking in, people inside.
Kind of listening to
two or
the
three
story,
people.
looking for
Fly on the wall.
Yeah, exactly. Fly on the wall, kind of in the corner watching. And without, I don't feel like I can investigate, poke around, but I can use my perception, and maybe I'll just roll, and then eventually you'll tell me what I've spotted.
Yeah.
But can I use my perception to soak in the room?
Sure.
All right.
Yep.
Now, perception is my second best trait. It's a plus. No, I'm sorry, third best trait. It is a plus 12. That is. So it was a 19 on the die. So yeah,
Okay.
I basically absorbed the room, and I could pretty much recite with the visually without opening stuff. I could.
One thing you notice with the additional entrance into the room to look around and inspect is that you notice a small emblem patch, if you will, and it's been torn. So you might see that this patch just kind of frayed a little bit, and that's all the additional stuff you see.
So can I surmise how they might have gotten in the room by the door?
Yeah, you can see that the door was jimmied.
Okay.
But the windows are not broken. There's no other entrance. There's no side doors. No vents that anybody could come in.
No scuffs
No
in the
chimney.
wall. No evidence of a struggle.
There is evidence of a struggle. There's definitely been some sort of struggle in here. Things are knocked over. The bed's turned over. Not much is torn or ripped or broken, but things are moved around, disheveled, and you get the sense that somebody was looking for something. And you see that sitting in a corner, like kind of not out in the open. With your 19, you saw something that's kind of hidden.
With my
31.
31.
Sorry, 31. What the? I heard 19. I was like, oh, that's good.
19 on the die plus 12.
Oh crap. Well, now I definitely feel better about letting you know that they definitely were looking for something.
You did give us level 15 characters.
I did. I forgot.
Yeah.
But the room was otherwise clean of any other indications of who or what was in there besides.
And I mean, Perducci can't imagine that just one person could have subdued Varinka. It's still a little bit of a mystery to me why they wouldn't take her stuff. So, all right, I've hogged enough of time.
Yeah. So the 9s have it next, I think. All right, is there anybody between 12 and 9? All right, so the 9s wake up, and I love this. You guys both open the door at the same time to come down for breakfast, and you see all this commotion.
Can see what?
This commotion that I just
it's going
described.
around. Yeah.
Who wants to go first?
I don't think it matters. Yeah.
All right. Glenn, why don't you go first?
Okay, I guess. So see, there's people around.
Yep. So you walk out the hallway and you see at the far end, because you're just further away, that there's 2 guards outside of a door, and you see people coming in and going out, and it's a commotion. Do you ignore it? Go downstairs?
Well, now if you came out at the same time, I might just sort of ask you, what's going on, or who's in that room?
No, someone probably drank too much.
All right. Well, if you just want to go downstairs, then you can do that.
I'll play mine differently for a few things to make sense.
Okay.
You can do yours.
He did it.
I guess he would just
Okay.
he would just go downstairs.
All right. All right. Well, you go downstairs and you go ahead and breakfast. You'll see Parducci come down maybe afterward.
Yeah. So at a certain point, there's nothing more to take in, right? The guards have done their thing. Maybe they're no longer investigating. They're just posted so no one else goes in there.
Yep.
All right. And once curiosity might get the cat, right? And I see that sack there, and I'll just take a peek what's in there.
Okay. Oh boy, I didn't think of that. 2 natural ones. So yeah, you're able to open up the backpack. It is filled with typical travel.
Her
stuff.
gear.
Yeah, typical gear.
But
You do see a vial in there, and you're not really familiar with it. You'd have to inspect it closer.
yeah. Parducci is not interested in thieving this room. That's not her intention.
Sure.
She has no doubt she could if she wanted, but that's not the kind of thief she is. Right? She's very targeted.
Okay.
A thief. But so what she's interested in knowing is literally all of Varinka's stuff seems to be here. So whoever took her was not interested in burglarizing,
Yeah.
right? And she already gave me 100 coins. I'm not interested in stealing her stuff,
Sure.
but I would have now a mental inventory of her stuff, right? And the room, and I've taken in pieced together what could have happened, and then I will sneak out back to my room.
Okay.
Would you say Christiana knows at this point?
Yes, she's been alerted. All of that party has been alerted.
Okay. So I feel like Christiana would come to Soria as she does.
Sure.
She knows all the people. So she's looking for information, right? And so Christiana would tell Soria that, it's Varinka. Varinka's disappeared. And have you heard anything? Of course, this is the first that Soria has heard of it. She doesn't have any information. But
And you guys didn't hear anything all night. I mean, like I said, you slept like babies. No disturbances
and
that you were aware of.
Soria would say, is there anything that we can do? And I don't know. I'll let you answer that question for Christiana.
Yeah, Jericho's been alerted. He's very interested in resolving the matter of Varinka. And we'll know more by the end of the day.
Well, definitely let us know and let me know what I can do to help.
And that would be Christiana's approach too. She's eager to help. She can't, she's not going to be able to help directly, but she is involved and interested.
Yeah, and I guess I'll say above the table, the way I thought it would happen, we'll let it play out as this goes along, is Christiana is the one who's going to recruit Soria into the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Christiana want a ward or sponsor a child?
She would have been solicited last night.
I'm sure. Who's the
Parducci?
No, the vampire.
Jericho. Jericho.
Yeah. Jericho would be thrilled. Yes.
Yes, but I've already spoke with Jericho. I understand. We have a deep vetting process. But
I'm sure he would pass all of your checks.
Check all the boxes.
Yeah.
So I mean, there is a strict free. These are not slaves. We're not selling
no.
these orphans. We're looking for respectable wards that are willing to take them in and give them a good chance at life.
Oh, you'd be stronger than ever.
And it just seems like that Christiana would benefit from having someone that she could mentor. Or someone's.
I think we have a while to I think about that one until I play Christiana next. I think.
Yeah.
Is this you taking your exit to go to the breakfast?
Well, that conversation.
Yeah, that
happened
conversation was last night.
Last night. Yeah. I just didn't know how she would have reacted.
Yeah, I don't know either, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you take a word from Christiana. She tells you what's going on, and she'll update you.
Okay.
What do? Go downstairs. Go back to your room.
Yeah, I mean, not much that she can do. So she'll go about her day as normal. You know, probably go to I'm sure they have like bathhouses or something, and go to the market and do all the normal.
Yeah. Okay. Do her day's activities. Who was next? I can't remember. Was it you, Christian, or was it?
I think I had
PR.
Viltor. I think I had an 8, so not far behind.
I don't remember what PR had.
Ken?
Right downstairs.
Oh yeah, you're already downstairs.
Oh, that's right. You went down early.
So yeah, Christian.
I was first.
Christian.
I'm waiting for people to come join me for breakfast.
You're full. You're done. So
All
you
right.
come out the door and you see all this going on. Again, you're at the other end.
Okay, but is there still activity, or is it more like, okay, the activity's over and there's 2 guys making sure no one goes in the room?
So yeah, there's 2 guys. Mostly, things are settling down. You see people mostly coming out of the room,
Okay.
and you do see the 2 guards posted outside the door.
Not to leave the room until you or anybody else. No, just me.
You get the impression that it's wrapping up. Like
Right.
you said.
Okay. All right. So Viltor would head down the hall.
The stairs are on your right, so you'd have to keep going in order to get to that door. If you wanted to do a walk by.
Yeah, I don't know that Viltor is too worried about that. I mean, it's late morning. He's eager to get his day started. Now, we didn't talk about this much ahead of time. I guess I don't know exactly how to play that out. As far as do we or don't we have him? I mean, if Christiana is still here, and the party was here, except all party was in house.
I'm still leading you guys to come together.
Right. But that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Am I above the table? I'm
Yeah.
asking is it safe to assume that Martello would still be in the building?
Not necessarily in the building, but in town.
In town. Okay. All right. So Viltor's like, okay, I'm not going to worry about that. Viltor will head downstairs and see about some breakfast.
Okay.
And lean over and say, "And why wouldn't her companions come get her stuff? It's been a couple hours by now. I would think they would be interested in what happened to their friend. Why aren't they investigating?"
So, yeah, go ahead.
They were all sitting at the table together, weren't they? We spoke last night. We're old friends. What do you suppose? Why wouldn't their friends come get her stuff?
I don't know. Maybe they're not aware that she's gone yet. There's somebody gone.
That big Goliath cow. Do you remember? She was the biggest person here last night.
She's missing?
She's disappeared from her room. What? Apparently abducted. And yet that beautiful staff she was at, it's still in her room. Why wouldn't they take it? And certainly the companions would have been summoned by now. They've been here for a couple hours.
Mm-hmm.
You would think they would summon their companions.
Maybe they don't know who the companions are.
We should tell them. Guard.
So, yeah. So maybe by the time you're done with your breakfast, PR is long past his breakfast, but he's milking he's slowly drinking his milk for the morning, and
Warm milk.
And you did say you were just talking about. You did say her name, right?
Varinka.
You said you did say her name.
Sure.
Okay.
did you, if you wanted to overhear it, you could roll a perception check.
Oh yeah.
I think Varinka was
27.
Remember? She was the one with the facial tattoos and.
So then, so Vernon might lean over and say, "Excuse me, you say you're acquainted?
Oh, just last
Varinka?
night. She was
here last night.
We spoke last night, right?
Yes.
I spoke to a lot of people about helping out with the Oogles. You remember the Oogles,
Yes.
the orphans?
Yes.
Did you donate?
Yes.
Did you sign up for?
No, unfortunately, no. My current living arrangements and lifestyle don't.
Well, the children appreciate all that you do.
But I actually was looking to find Varinka and talk to her, but I didn't see her.
I think there's a lot of people that would like to find and talk to her now.
Nothing like that. Or she's an old friend.
Well, I'm just saying that any of her friends might like to find and talk to her because apparently she's gone missing.
Dun, dun, dun.
You didn't see
that's what
that room.
That's what the guards were at the room upstairs.
Apparently, this is all hearsay at this point. But when I walked by, I saw in there the staff that she was holding was in that room. That fancy glaive that she had.
I know it.
You do? How do you know it?
Because I have traveled and adventured with her in the past.
You have?
Yes.
Do you know? Does she have any enemies?
Well, sure. Anybody who's in the slave trade, she tends to frown on such things. And
slavers are horrible.
They are. They're bullies. Where do I find them?
Are you sure?
Viltor's wild now.
Are you sure you wouldn't like a child? And just to make sure they don't get taken by the slavers?
And just then, the door opens up and two guards come in, and they bring some flyers over to the bartender, and over on the bulletin board for jobs board, they put up a wanted information and successful recovery of Varinka, 10,000 gold pieces. Report to Jericho for your commission.
And then PR, you're there as well, right?
I think so, yeah.
You should all be there.
And Choupette, Lady Choupette, huh?
I'm talking to myself.
Lady Choupette would say, and PR, what do you know of this? Do you know anything of this disappearance?
I do not. They would not let me get close to the room.
Were you acquaintance at all of this Goliath?
Not personally. I only saw her from afar.
Oh,
She came by my village 2 years ago.
Really?
Yep.
So you had met her previously? Last night was the first time.
That's a strong word.
You became aware of her.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, they put. It seems the Jericho gentleman has posted a reward for her, and she looks at the reward poster.
And you would see this around, doing your daily activities. They're putting up these posters, so you would see that as well.
Yeah,
I'll let you finish.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Charlemagne, take a note of this poster for me. Put it in our log, would you? And then the gentleman will walk up and scribe into her log of. And what does it say?
It says, wanted, successful rescue of Varinka, $10,000 gold piece reward.
Dead or alive?
Successful
Rescue.
rescue.
Right, successful.
And it says, report to Jericho for your commission.
Wow. That would go a long way to supporting the children. And looks at my attendants and Charlemagne, I'm going to have to do this.
And I would very much like to join you.
So are you
You
guys still all at the...
They're all four of them are
We're all
the
staring at this poster.
I assume we're in some sort of breakfast nook
of the
at
town.
the
So I'm
tavern.
thinking probably about mid-morning, so...
Oh, it's
so-
already morning now?
It's morning.
Morning, you know...
9-10 o'clock.
Yeah,
somewhere.
it's, yeah,
Okay.
9-10 o'clock.
Okay.
Soria, she's been to the, you know, if you've been, I don't know, not as common in American cities, but like if you go to like European cities, they have all those like open air markets,
Sure.
and like you know, yeah, not in the U.S. but in other countries around the world. So she's probably gone to like that kind of like open air market, and she's done her shopping for the day, and she probably wanders back in, and then yeah, so she's seen these posters going up,
Yeah.
and she'd probably come over to you guys and be like, so that seems a little more serious than I thought. What have you guys heard? And then we don't have to rehash all of it,
Yeah.
but you would fill her in on all that.
Okay, so you guys enjoy your breakfast. I see at least two people or one person who's definitively interested. Second person, Vilter, are you on board with these two?
The bullies need to be stopped. I don't like bullies. I'm ready. Let's go.
All right.
And he pulls up fire in his hand.
Ooh.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate your enthusiasm.
A PR?
Yes.
All right. So you guys make your way to see
Varinka's
Jericho
worthy of
then?
saving.
All right. So you guys make your way to see Jericho. Meanwhile, Christiana
Oh, sorry.
reaches out to you, and she leaves a note at the bar.
Who?
You come back.
Christiana.
Comes back to the bar, leaves a note for you for when you return. As soon as you return, you see that. So you report to see her, who is staying with Jericho, and you'll get the same message. Hey, I would really like you to be my representative in a rescue attempt for Varinka. Are you willing? I assume yes.
Yeah, she would.
Go ahead and play that out.
Yeah, so Soria would say, all I need is my instrument. And Christiana's like, are
need a
you
little
sure?
bit more.
You might need a little bit more than that. And that's when Christiana gives her the Hellfire rapier. I was like,
That's better.
take this with you. You might need that.
That'll do nicely. She would also alert you that we suspect the Zentarum are involved.
Okay.
Because I shared that with him?
No, because she got word from Jericho, who got word from the guards who found the
Okay, the guards told them.
badge. Yeah.
Is that what that is? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Is that, what are they called?
Zentarum.
Okay.
Right. This is,
Soria would be...
everybody would know.
Yeah,
who the
pretty much
Zentarum
everybody's
is.
aware of them.
Everyone
but-
in Toril knows who Zentarum is.
Pretty much, yeah. One of the major factions. Yeah.
They do all kinds of things. Political overthrows, assassinations, thieving, guilds. They run them.
Basically-
mafioso.
Yeah,
Well, I was going to say CIA, but
the
that
slave,
works
they're slavers. That's probably their biggest trade.
too.
They're
CIA
slaving.
doesn't do enslavement.
Yeah.
But they have global aspirations. So you all meet up with Jericho, and Christiana and the rest of the party, previous party, is there, and they're with Jericho, and they're discussing it, and you guys are granted permission to come into the hall where they are, and you volunteer to them. Jericho says, okay, rewrite up a little contract. Varinka returned, preferably alive, or at least the last known epitaph of her, and we need to know concrete proof of who did it, where, what happened, all the things that in between that we would need for justice. And your reward is 10,000 gold pieces, and anything that you can keep. anything that you come across
Of course.
in the course of doing your duty for us, you get to keep. And then they'll share with you what they know, and it really is what I've told you so far.
So there's no further information that the guards had that we haven't learned yet?
Just that the Zentarum, they're suspected. It doesn't look like they took anything, which is also suspicious.
If it were the
Other than
Zentarum, why wouldn't they have taken this stuff?
Yeah.
Unless it was DM oversight.
No, they
Didn't do it.
Yep.
All right.
So you have full access to the room to go and investigate. In here, is your Redux badges as investigators, and you can go and look around as you see fit, ask questions as you see fit, under the authority of Jericho and Redux. So now you're the four of you together, and Christiana will pipe up as you guys are getting ready to leave. I'd like to add my own delegate to this party, and she will mention Soraya, and Soraya will come forward, and you guys all saw her singing and dancing. Any reaction to that? Do you have any objection to Jericho or Christiana?
No. Okay. Delighted to have someone of culture join us.
All right.
Certainly keep you entertained. And,
Are you not entertained? All right.
So, speaking Jericho and the other parties there, and should we take her gear with us so that when we find her, we should give it to her, or do you want to secure yourself? Because we're just, maybe Soraya. Is that how you pronounce it? Soraya? Soraya? So, what would you have us do with her gear?
So yeah, that's an excellent question. We're still trying to figure out what to do with with the backpack. Anything that you want, you can that you can take. You can take.
Let me ask you this: say we infiltrate a Zentarum stronghold, we find her, we liberate her, and we're fighting our way out. Wouldn't she want her glaive?
Absolutely,
I'd take her. Yeah, she'd probably take the glaive.
And Christiana would say, and the glaive would want her.
Oh, why?
And that lies the problem.
That
for you,
yeah.
If you wanted to take that with you, it really is. And Christiana speaking, this really is a very special weapon, and it really chooses who wields it.
Well, I tell you, I have a bag that I can hold it in.
Okay.
You might even call it.
Like we've had difficulty so far. We've had difficulty so far getting it moved. You can inspect it, and you can take it with you, with the condition that it goes to Varinka in the end, or comes back to us.
I have no interest in
this
manly of a or what's right? Not manly's not right.
Womanly.
Womanly. This martial type of weapon. So we should take her. I could put her gear with our.
It sounds like you have this bag of holding that can take it easily.
Exactly.
And that's fine. Again, part of the conditions written in the little addendum to the contract. You'll return everything.
I will give her absolutely
to Varinka or us.
Oh, Charlemagne, take a note of all of her possessions here.
Yeah. So, again. Do you have any other questions for Jericho or the?
Well, how about the local Zentarum? Are you aware of any local sects of Zentarum?
We are aware of elements in Redux. They're very hard to track. We are pretty successful at keeping them out of here, out in the open. But the Black Road isn't far, but it's just far enough away that they don't seem to bother us too much. But I'm sure there are elements here waiting for an opportunity.
I'm just really surprised they would be able to subdue this Goliath of a woman. They must have knocked her unconscious. Or maybe they used
Drug
magic.
or food.
They obviously fought with no honor.
But how even think of that woman, a good head taller than any of us, right? A good head taller than even unconscious. How do they carry her out?
A magic user has many ways.
It would have to be magic, wouldn't it?
Floating disc.
Or just teleport her out of the room.
Yeah.
Or
Right to the wagon down the street.
but even with a teleport, you still have to get them through the teleporter.
Well,
Well, one thing I can tell you, it wasn't a bard. Because bards, well, we like to create some commotion.
You have
It's
any further
also-
questions?
it's also surprising that the room looked pretty tossed, and they did that in the middle of the night and didn't wake anybody else up.
It's really amazing. But I suppose there's spells for that too.
Yeah.
You know, I think it was probably a thief. No, they like to be sneaky.
The thieves aren't
Unless
necessarily
the bartender
strong.
was in on it. Did they drug all our drinks?
No. Well, who's the bartender? What's his name?
Whatever. Yeah.
Jonathan.
Yeah, he would never.
Sorry, my plan for 2 weeks.
No.
Did he knowingly then? I mean, he might not have knowingly done it.
Well,
Or maybe an underling
maybe the
who
keg.
could be bought by the Zentarum.
Never. But maybe the keg that was delivered to us by. I don't know. I'm sure we have a supplier in town. And kegs are us.
Well, we could go inspect it and
It's
see if the.
it's suspicious that no one woke up.
Certainly, and so if you're willing, then she would. Sorry, it would definitely take you to Kegs R Us, and we can.
Well, let's start at the bar, right? There might be remnants of this beverage we were drinking last night, and it could still be tainted.
Well, they usually
That
send.
seems like a better idea.
They usually send the empty kegs back in the morning.
You're assuming it was empty.
Oh well, it was empty, right? Because
He said all the beer's gone.
all the beer's gone.
Yeah.
So
Maybe there's a glass with a little sip left.
certainly we can go look.
Go inspect the kitchen, bar
So
area.
you guys have left Jericho.
Jericho,
party,
yeah.
Go back to the inn. You go to the bar first?
Yeah, we're gonna see if there's any remnants of fluid from last night that could be
Sure.
inspected.
So yeah, you look at you ask the bartender if you can see you inspect the keg. He's like, sure, I don't care, it's out in the alley.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys, one of you or all of you
They
go
haven't
out
come
there.
and picked it up yet. Usually they come in the morning.
Well, it was a late night for everybody.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's twice a week.
Yeah. But it wasn't a delivery day, so they're expecting it to come in later today, since we actually ran out. So it's available for you to
Unless this
inspect.
keg wasn't from them. Was it even, did they even know there's a keg to pick up?
Well, they had to get a hold of somebody to come, and that's why it's taken the middle of the day at least to get something. And I'm sure they'll be paying a pretty penny for it as well. So you come out to the alleyway. The keg is sitting there, empty.
So I don't know if
You
this
break
is.
it open. Or?
I'm looking for the type of kit I have. First of all, I have a poisoner's kit,
Okay.
but I also have other. It's not herbalism, chemical kit. I'm just looking for it.
You really
Apothecary.
want to be on the list of suspects, don't you? Snooping around the room with a poisoner's kit,
No one
Eccentric
saw
figure.
me snooping around the room.
That's true.
And so I'm just saying I would have a way, might have a way
Absolutely.
to test this fluid to see if it's tainted at all.
And to me, that would give you advantage on a roll
Nice.
to detect what.
Yeah, if the beverage was pure, a typical beverage, or if it had any type of corruption to it, right?
Okay.
I don't know. Like, I would think that would be wisdom or intelligence based.
Good question. Medicine. Yeah, wisdom.
Medicine, wisdom. 13.
Okay. So you get out your kit and you're fiddling with it, and you open the stopper and you kind of tip. Have some people help you tip it.
Yeah.
And you get a couple drops to go into a vial, and then you start doing your jazz, and you see that it definitely changes colors, which indicates it's wine, not water. And you determine that it's got it's a red wine, with grapes.
Mm-hmm.
So you actually get a fair amount of information out of it, but you don't see poison.
Yeah, no such a So it seems like pure wine, a pure beverage of whatever it was.
Yep.
No, so there's no evidence of tampering, at least in this batch. So I suspect they used some sort of magical means, some sort of silence, or we're all seasoned adventurers, right? And,
Is
you all ate too at some point or another.
Christiana was at the table with her? Is she still around?
Well, she's back there. We can back it up to Jericho if you wanted to ask.
We'll go
anybody
find her
in
and
the
ask
party.
her.
Well,
where is all of the party?
All of you are together now.
Right, but
The old party is
are
still at Jericho's,
right.
doing their business.
Are they all staying at the inn?
No, they stayed at Jericho's.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Well, I
Jericho
meant
put-
like at night.
Yeah, I mean he's
Like they all have rooms at the inn. I guess what I'm asking.
no. They all stayed with Jericho overnight. At Jericho's after party.
Yes, and
Right.
yeah.
Why was Varinka here alone then?
Good question.
and
Was she meeting someone?
Maybe.
Why would she stay here?
Why would she stay here alone?
We should ask her companions. Why didn't she stay with Jericho?
We should ask.
Christiana, you're friends with Christiana. Maybe you could ask her.
Yeah.
And so Christiana would tell you that while Varinka appreciated Jericho, she didn't feel like being a guest in the vampire's home.
What?
I don't.
Jericho's a vampire.
Yeah.
I don't think that's widely.
Right.
She would know that.
Christiana knows that, but they don't go around just telling everybody.
Yeah.
She turned somebody into a vampire.
So Soraya would have her suspicitions,
Would have her
probably.
suspicions, probably.
As a local
But they're
person.
not going to go around telling outsiders
I
and
see.
strangers.
Christiana wouldn't would tell you, though, would she?
So Christiana would tell, potentially would say,
potentially,
didn't like his evening pastime.
Right. Would probably
Maybe a little more subterfuge.
Dance around a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
and would Christiana think of anybody who would want to harm Varinka? Was she having disputes
And
with
you
anyone?
would probably know why the Zentarm would be interested in her. That she has been raiding slave caravans and disrupting their slave trade all along the
Yeah, especially you as a friend.
coast,
Okay.
all along the coast, inner coast.
So the Zentarian, are they?
Zentarm, yeah.
They are one of the.
Are they around? I mean, are they known to be
Yeah.
in the
They're
region,
everywhere.
anywhere
They're
specific? Okay.
And you would know that their headquarters is just 300 miles away.
And they use the
And
main.
actually, two of them are like within 500.
And there was an oasis in the Anarok Desert that was a known hotbed for Zenter, a base 4 right on the Black Road.
And sorry, would know.
They own the Black Road.
They use the Black Road as that's one of their main.
Yeah.
The Black Road, they are the Black something. The Black Army. The
Okay.
Black Order.
But so, if there are chief suspect, but there's no obvious one place to go look where they would
I mean, we
essentially
could.
take her.
I mean, if the Zentarum took her, the closest Zentarum base might be a place to go look for.
Yeah.
Certainly.
So we're back at you're still in the alley, and you have looked around. It's obviously not the wine.
A little bummed we don't get to go to Kegs R Us.
Is there anything else you could think of? I think magic was surmise. Was a guess. I said the food could be an option.
Let's check the
So
kitchen.
you do the test there, and yes, the bread has been poisoned, but it's some sort of sleeping agent, and it's very diluted.
Sneak
And so,
thieves.
yeah, they put it in the bread. And that's why everybody slept so soundly last night.
The bread. And tell the chef, tell the inn, you should probably throw this bread out. Or you could sell it as a sleeping aid.
Dang it! That guy Rumman, I hired him to come in here and he poisoned my food, says the chef.
You know who did this then?
He starts describing him, and he sounds a little bit like the guy that you saw looking.
A little shorter looking dude with the leathers and...
Yeah, that guy.
Now,
He left early last night, too.
is he kitchen help, or was he like a baker supplying the bread?
Yeah, we were having this big party. I needed extra help. So I had him, make the bread. I mean, how hard is it to make bread without poisoning it?
Now, does Soria know? Is he local that Soria knows?
You wouldn't have known him by name, for sure.
Where does he live? Soria would ask.
I don't know. He
Where
came in and he offered to do some work, so I took him on as, took him up.
You're just taking people in off the streets now?
Well, when you're busy and you need help, I don't know when heroes are going to be successful and, kill a kraken or a crab, Man, I would have liked to make crab. That would be nice.
Talk to the three crane.
How do you even cook that? It's so big.
He doesn't know this, but the giants, they had quite the feast.
So you discovered it's the bread. You guys, that's why you slept so
And then
late.
we got the guy's name.
Yeah, he said his name is Rumma.
Rumma.
Yes.
And he wasn't Badine.
No, human. Scruff. It's like every other human.
So we could ask around and see if anyone else knew him or knows where he went.
Does Soria know anybody locally that could help track him down? Or does Soria have any leads to help track him down?
Yeah. Roll me a history check.
Sure. 12.
So, you know that the Zentarum are here, but you don't necessarily know. They're not organized. They're just kind of either they're just passing through, or they're couriers, or they're an occasional spy. Just keeping an eye on what's going on in Redux. It's a very enclosed space, so you kind of get to know people by face pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And when Parducci describes the person, Roma, to you, and the rest of to the chef, I kind of remember seeing this guy in the market earlier this morning.
I might have seen him this morning in the market. We should go there, see if we can...
There's a lot of people, and there's a lot of humans here. So
Well, if you're going to find someone in town, everybody goes to the market to get their
it's
goods.
probably 10:30, 11 o'clock now.
So
Yeah, so I'm assuming Parducci has put on her traveling clothes, not her formal gown and
Right.
Aren't you
action
traveling in
attire.
a
more
ball
action
gown?
attire. That's right. And so,
Well, wardrobe changes by 10 a.m. Then the rest of us making a month.
That's why she's got two attendants.
and so, with a change of appearance, she takes on a slightly different persona. And in the market, she would start be doing thieves' cant.
Okay.
Looking to see if anyone responds.
I'd be using my 20 passive perception to keep an eye on the crowd.
Yeah. So.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm thinking of what to
partly-
say.
And
Yeah.
we'd be
Because I actually looked
parlaying and Druid on the side,
Right.
I did look up the thieves' camp. So yeah,
Because that would be part of her background, right?
right. And so at some point, you see someone is starting to approach you, but they're kind of like being a little dodgy about it. They're not coming straight at you. They're kind of going over here, and then they come over here, and you lock eyes for a second as you're doing that.
And I would say go to this shady corner or this alleyway somewhere behind, out of the
Yeah,
traffic.
and so he'll make his way over to this alleyway. And you can still see everybody and everything going on, especially the rest of your party. But he can see you coming over, and he's welcome you.
Yeah, so it's just me and him. The rest of the party's not there.
Yeah.
Right? And
No attendance.
Right? And no attendance, right? And just kind of off to the side. And I'll drop him a couple coins. And I'm looking for some information.
The sun is warm today. Now keep in mind you're underground.
Interesting.
Just make some responsibility.
I suppose we are in the desert.
Perfect. It's like, all right. What are you looking for?
And then, so I'm looking for, a couple coins. And I'm looking for some information of a man I saw last night. And I describe him, and we suspect he tainted the food at this party last night, and I would just like to speak with this gentleman.
Persuasion check for me.
Persuasion check. All right. So one of my feats is I have the lucky feat. I'll take some. Yeah, I have the lucky feat. I just rolled a 2, which with my persuasion is an 8. So I'm going to use one of my lucky. I get 3 rerolls per long rest.
For long rest, okay.
All right. So I'm going to use one of my lucky feat rerolls. That's better. So now it's a 14 on the die for a 20.
Okay. He looks at you. So there's a new guy in town. He's been keeping to himself. He's not part of our little conglomerate.
This guy's probably Badine, right?
This guy is.
Yeah, I'm talking to.
And so he's like, he's not from around here. Mm-hmm. And, he seems to be himself, and he's a very serious fellow. I've seen him playing around at the tavern. I've seen him over, at that place was a guy for
Almirage.
Almirage, yeah. He's been at the Almirage. And I saw him over at Jericho's this morning. Not in Jericho's, but watching it closely.
Yeah, you remember Jericho's. We had that big old bodyguard there, right? And really, outside of Jericho's, just hanging out by himself.
He was waiting for something. That would be my guess. As a matter of fact, when you guys came out, he left. He seemed to.
When we came out of where?
Jericho's.
So he was at Jericho's while we were in there.
Yeah, so you were at Jericho's, and you see some cogs starting to turn in his head, like an opportunity is brewing for him.
Yeah, I gave him a little piece.
You gave some coinage, sure, but now the stakes have all of a sudden gone up.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a stranger doing strange things, another stranger asking him, coming out of Jericho's. Something big is brewing, right? And he's probably starting to put it together. You get 1 or 2 more questions before he's going to hit you up.
Yeah. So, part of the backstory was for Perducey was she was aware of the giants there, right? And they were spreading money around, and so in my mind, Perducey has spoken to the elves and the entourage to see if they would be interested in taking in some orphans, right?
Okay.
And so I might have a tip for you and your local guild if you would be interested.
Oh, do tell.
So I happen to know where the giants have made their camp. And I don't know if you're aware, certainly you're aware, with their presence here, how much coin they've been spreading around. your guild might be interested in knowing if maybe they already do, where this camp is located.
Yeah, I've heard the stories. It sounds like quite the payday. Why haven't you gone?
Who
I'm
says
busy saving the orphans.
Who says I haven't?
Huh? How much was there?
Let's just say it was a giant's ransom.
Oh, that sounds good.
So I will give you the location of their... If you will just give me a little bit more information about this man.
Deal. So you have a specific question? Or?
Well, my question, do you know who he is, where we could find him? Really?
So, I haven't really seen him bedding down anywhere in our, in any of the thieves' places.
Hold on. What is that? Oh, that's the gear shift thing?
Yeah, the gear shift.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, she's poking around at it. I was like,
You have a baby hamster or
Yeah,
something.
Yeah, I was thinking
I
that
heard you
too,
talking
yeah.
about it, but yeah.
So he's, he really hasn't been hanging his hat in any one place. But I will say, I've heard someone mention his name as Muram the Spider.
Muram.
Muram.
Very interesting, because we had the name as...
Rama.
Rama. We had his name as Rama.
Rama,
Yes, yes.
Muram.
Rama, all right.
Keep it simple. All right. So his name is Muram the Spider, and he seems to be hanging out in public places where important figures seem to be. And
I think we can all relate to that.
I don't know. I'd be a little paranoid because the guy has shown up twice where you are.
Yes.
Maybe you're on him or he's on you.
I assume Murrah isn't part of the local guild. I mean, he's obviously a foreigner.
Yeah, I would say he's definitely a foreigner.
He might be part of the Zentrum from the base.
Boy, I've seen lots of Zents in my life. I guess he could be. But he looks a little bit more put together than the average Zentrum I've seen.
Well, that's a little concerning, isn't it? So, the place that you've seen him the most, other than the Almirage.
I say Jericho's.
So, if we staked out Jericho's over the course of 24 hours, you think it would be likely that we would see him?
Yeah, it's as good a chance as it's the best chance.
That's the best chance that you're
the best chance.
All right. All right. So I don't know if you have in your mind there's anything more he can give me, but
no.
So
there isn't.
No. So I will tell him of the oasis that the giants had made their base camp in.
Yeah. Ooh, I'll take that back to my boss.
But be warned, as you well know, the desert is treacherous.
Well, those heroes took care of the real bad things.
Yeah.
Couldn't
But
predict.
between the Three Kreen and whatever the mercenaries,
Yeah, we could take care of the Bedine. We got a relationship with them. But that's pretty far away from here, but might be worth an excursion.
Okay.
And then he'll just.
So I'll go back to the party and report that.
Since you're in the market, can everyone roll me a passive perception? Well, what's your passive perception? Let's just go with that. I think
silly good.
Ridiculously good.
20.
20. I got 22, I think, right?
18.
Yeah. Can anybody beat a 22?
Now,
That's
not
you, right?
my passive wisdom perception is 22.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. So you will be the first to notice. You see Muram across the market, and it's crowded. It's starting to thin, but you think you see him 50, 60 feet away.
And in a rush, I'll say, I see him. And I start parkouring to the top of buildings. So, in addition to having my invisibility cloak, she naturally becomes invisible in shade, in areas of low light.
So this is like everywhere here.
Yeah.
It's up
Right,
around.
exactly. So dancing from shadow to shadow, Parducci's going to try to follow.
Did she point him out before she disappeared?
Oh, probably.
Up the gutter.
Right there. I see him. He's walking.
And
I'm gonna.
right then, he sees you pointing at him,
Oh man.
and so he
Chases
turns
on.
and he runs.
Well,
that's-
no reason for stealth now.
Yep. So he's running.
Yeah, run.
Let me bring up
Oh.
the map here.
Let's get him. Hurry. Immediately.
I gotta remember this.
Do we
Activate the market.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if
let's see.
you might. I don't. Maybe still in memory.
Yeah.
Can you do Control V and maybe it's still there?
Oh,
You
yeah.
click in the screen. You might need to click in the screen.
This is a
somewhere.
really good guess on my part that there was a market. This whole thing.
Let me go back and get that real quick, and then.
What's the fastest thing I can turn into?
Preach.
Myself.
Ken, you can see the market.
It could fly.
So we're gonna pick it up where he has already. I don't have a token for him, but
Well, you can grab something. Go to the characters
this one.
and and you can do bandit. Type in the word bandit.
Here.
Yep. There. That's the bandit copy would be great. Any of those.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just trying to.
That's something, right?
Yeah. I just double click it.
No, just drag it to the. Just drag it over. You might have to close that now.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it though.
All right.
It's something.
I think it's.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. So Chase is on. He ducks through a hallway, a corridor, and you guys chase him. I can't get it there.
I don't know if you really want. Do you really want? Are we gonna do this on a map? Or are we gonna?
I think just as a
Yeah. Go ahead.
placeholder, not a. You guys don't have to move that much into a specific spot, but you come through the door and you see him ducking up some stairs.
Mm-hmm.
How well can you see that, guys? Do you need a
I can see it. It's a little small, but
So we follow him into a building.
Yeah.
so remember this is an underground city to begin with,
Okay.
in a big, huge underground cavern.
So
Yeah.
So you see him, and he's good 60 feet away, maybe a little bit more at this point.
So in this market, what you've shown here, is there a ceiling or a roof,
Yeah, you would think
or is it open topped?
it's not open, but it's 30 to 100 feet up, depending on where
Yeah.
it is.
The chase is on, right?
You're almost at a slight unfair advantage to us in that you're not playing a new character. we're trying to learn our.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
never played this character before.
You haven't
Yeah.
played?
He's had this NPC before.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so. Like, no, the name I know. Okay,
Yeah.
because I'm trying to figure out
Sure.
what can I even do? What are my spells?
Okay. Yeah. So we're. Okay. So
That's
we're
kind of the point
we
of
followed
this.
followed
Yeah,
into the
is to
building,
get you
but
introduced to your characters.
okay. Followed into the building, but it's just us now. We can't. There's no one else around.
Right. Well, there's people here and there, but it's definitely less busy than it was in the main market you were just in.
Yeah.
You might see somebody sitting in a corner or squatting.
I mean, Soria would be rushing after him.
Right. So
So
Tell me if she can get within 30 feet of him.
I would say it's going to be a struggle to get within 60 feet.
Okay.
Unless you can slow him down.
or turn into a bloodhawk that can fly 60 feet in a turn.
There you go.
Poof.
I don't know what
Well,
a Bloodhawk does.
So
but
remember, I am a bard, so I can do all sort of like charm, but I have to get within
gotta
range.
catch
So
up.
don't like splatter him before.
No, I'm just trying to
Can
catch
catch
up.
up.
This
Okay,
is just to catch up.
Well, I can put him in a 5-foot hole.
All right.
From how far away is he?
Let's see.
And this looks like stone floor, not dirt, if that matters.
So you can get right up to him, right?
You say he's 60 feet away?
Not anymore.
So
Say
my
within
wild
5.
shape is actually a bonus action.
So you can't dash.
No, but I bonus action, I can move, and now I could
You could.
claw his eyes out or
Oh,
something.
you use your action to
Grapple.
dash.
I could use it to either. But if I caught up to him, then I could try to
Would
Hinder
you
grab
like
him
to
or
attack
something. Yeah.
Struggles real.
Um,
Right mouse.
So this guy is a small beast. Okay, so he's not. So small. So like a normal size hawk.
He's a
then.
you're a normal size hawk.
A small beast, right? Would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a bird.
It's a bird.
Yeah.
That's what I figured.
You're not going giant eagle?
Well, I was looking for something
fast.
fast. That's the thing.
Form of.
Yeah, I don't.
Well,
All you have to do is slow him down until everybody else.
You'd slow him.
giant eagle's 80 feet.
Soria would
Oh, really?
would yell out, just slow him down and I can charm him.
Well, okay, so hang on a
No.
second.
So he's
Burrow knows you can charm him.
I didn't see that on
'Cause
the
you just
list
yelled
I
it.
was looking at, but maybe I could do that.
How far ahead of
Well, you're a high
us
level
is he?
druid.
60 feet.
Yeah, I know.
CR1
60
should
feet?
It's a CR1.
There's a lot of
Oh, it's
spells.
a
with
lot.
this.
Well, I have something I can do on my
Not a
turn.
lot of hit points, but can fly 80 feet.
Okay,
After
that's
this, we're
okay.
going to roll initiative. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a
Well,
first
can a
chance to
giant
stop
creature
me.
get around in here though? How big is?
Well, he
giant?
said the ceiling's like 100 feet up.
Yeah.
There you
Okay,
go.
so
It
giant
goes up
eagle.
and down.
Giant eagle sounds better. We'll do that.
Okay. You're a giant. You
Druid to druid.
Yeah. And then
How are you just going to pick him up?
try to grapple him. Yeah. Leave.
All right. So grapple contest.
With the eagle.
That's why I need to look him up here.
You need. I
Okay.
pre-built this.
There it is.
Okay. Talons. Well, okay, but I'm not trying to do damage. I'm trying to just grapple him. So it's a strength.
Yeah.
And I would use the eagle strength, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's
Knowles rolling continues.
19.
You easily grapple him to the ground. Almost, you bring him to the ground almost loverly. Like it's so gentle and controlled.
No.
Almost like he didn't even put up a fight.
No, it's like it is
All right.
talons in the shoulders and pinned.
All right. So he is now pinned and he's writhing. He is going to wait until half of you guys have gone. So you've gone. Who's next?
I mean, do you want us to roll
It's a roll initiative.
Yeah, let's just roll initiative and make it easy.
just to give us turn order?
Do you have a way to keep track?
For now, I do.
I should share with you my spreadsheet.
Yeah, if you send it to me. I was going to ask you for it.
Okay.
So Glenn already went. Go ahead.
I got a 10.
Anybody else can go in there.
19.
Okay.
I got a 10.
16.
There we go.
And okay. So we're gonna let Dave go and Ken go.
So-
You're on deck after him.
I see the bird has him pinned, right? Grappled. So
And we're like six, would you like 6
Because-
away?
Produce would have grabbed from her hip her bolas and started spinning them. But then she would have done a whole bunch of parkour shit, flips and twirls, and to catch up and get. I could see her on a wall, like probably
Ready to pounce.
10, 20 feet up. She was about to throw her bolas, but saw that it was subdued, so got probably within 10, 15 feet of where he is.
Okay.
So move and then a dash. And so I'd like the wall to the left of where he is, like up in there, but on the wall to the left. I don't know if that wall goes all the way to
This wall. there?
yeah, somewhere like that. So I quickly, if he breaks free, I can jump down in there and put Chase back on.
Sure. Next up is Ken. I just imagine you're not holding. Are you holding an action?
No, not holding it.
Well,
I use my
pounce.
action to dash up there.
Oh, okay.
So
All right. So Ken, you're up.
Yeah, so I will.
because we were 60 feet back, right?
Oh, you move.
Yeah, so I think I'll end up just running and dashing to get up there.
It's a little bit farther than 60 feet.
Do you want to say we just all
Well,
run and dash so we can?
I have walking speed of 45. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then as a bonus action, I'll rage.
oh, okay, nice.
Don't you have to hold a rage?
Bonus action rage, but he loses it if he doesn't attack or take damage.
Yeah.
Not if you're a 15th level barbarian.
Yeah.
Not
you
if
can
you're a
just-
15th level barbarian.
That's the secret. I'm angry all the time.
Always angry.
Only ends early if you fall unconscious or choose to end it.
Nice.
Very good.
So,
Hey.
Yeah, I remember.
Viltor, do you have a
When I was
particular place you
barbarian,
want to be?
it's like, I hit the bird on the tree.
Well, I
punched
guess the question
wall.
is if
I guess we do just want to fast and say we all move and dash this round and catch up.
You grabbed him pretty quick. So,
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll move and dash. I guess.
We're all up there.
yeah. And you'll place the net. All right. So, you have him grappled. He's struggling, and he is not showing the ability to get rid of this bird. Get free of the bird. So, what are you guys doing? Initiative again. Oh, wait, there's more people. Sorry. Murum did go after Ken, though. So, Wes, you're at 10, and Christian, you're at 10.
So we started at the top of the order. We all moved and dashed up there.
Yeah. So, so starting at the top of the order, it'd be Glenn again.
Okay. I'm just kind of holding it because at this point I can't talk in this form, but I don't want to turn back right now, so
Sure.
I'm just like, going down and intimidating, like, "Rah!"
Little shake, little flappy shake, right?
No, I
The eagle has
I'm
the
basically
spider.
sitting
Right.
on top of him. On
Right.
his
So that
chest.
brings us back to Dave then, if you're not doing anything else.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold my action to tackle him if he breaks free.
All right. That brings us to Ken. Yarr. I can't roll my R's for my life.
I'm going to attempt to intimidate him into answering our questions when we ask him questions.
Well, I'm gonna hopefully make him a friend, so you don't have to imitate. But you are raging, so that is in character.
Yeah.
So
So I've I'm intimidating. I've swung my glaive really close to his head,
All right.
and I'm sure I've got the stone.
Roll an intimidation. And
17.
you can see that, he's not easily frightened, but he's definitely a little concerned at his situation. Both from the glaive and from the claws and talons that are in his...
And huge beak.
in the squawking eagle in his face. He's definitely feeling a little overwhelmed with stimulation. So now you think you may be able to get something out of him, questions wise. And do you guys fully restrain him?
Well, yeah, I think fully restrained is the key, but we
Christian is gonna try to charm him.
careful. Who?
Who?
I keep doing that, Soraya. I've spent the last past
That's why you gotta
6
do
months.
male, female characters. Male, female.
That's a good point. Being female to female in the same place is
Yeah. So
That know
Soraya-
each other.
yeah, they know each other.
Soraya's gonna go up and try to charm. Now, I assume he's hostile, so that makes it a little more difficult.
So
Disadvantage.
But we are level 15,
And she has a magic lyre.
Oh.
So she has an instrument of the bards, the Klee lyre.
You should be your friend.
Can you read what it does?
Basically. So I can cast spells with it. There's a number of things I can do with it. I can cast spells. The other thing I can do with it is I can play the instrument while casting a spell that causes any of its targets to be charmed. It gives how to read that? Oh, if I play it while I'm casting a spell that causes them to be charmed, they have a disadvantage. I can impose a disadvantage on the saving throw. It's weirdly written sentence, but yes, basically they have disadvantage on the saving.
Well, I suspect it negates the advantage he had.
If he has advantage, then
Yeah.
So now we're back to
a regular.
Which is a straight roll. So what is the spell you're casting while you're playing the lyre?
Just straight charm person, wisdom 17 failing throw.
What, you got disadvantage because he's pissing down his leg right now?
Well, you can charm someone in a bar, right? But if you're in
like a hostile
encounter, they have advantage against the charm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Usually.
You said you rolled, it was a 17?
Yeah.
17.
Okay, so you look into his eyes and you see that he's acting funny, and then he starts to relax a little bit. And he seems not to be struggling anymore with you.
And I imagine that the music is like sweet and soft and calming. and
warm kitty.
Yeah. Soria says, as long as I keep playing, he will be charmed. So that's what Soria will be doing.
Right.
So ask your questions of the man.
So, how many times have you done this? Is this a new spell for you, or something you've done before?
The charmed person is a level 1 spell.
It's level 1 spell,
Right, so you've done it a lot.
yeah.
It feels right, and it feels wrong. Like something's not. You're not convinced that he's really charmed. You sense that there's something not right with the charm.
Like he might be playing.
Like he might be playing you.
Oh, okay. But don't trust him.
So he's relaxed, but he's still tense.
Playing
like
possum.
his
Wait,
body
he
is still
might be
ready to
playing
pounce
possum.
and leave. Well, you don't notice it. He notices.
Don't hurt him though. Because if he is charmed, then that
Like,
you know.
right now,
Yeah.
all the rest of you probably think he's charmed. The person who did it and has done it many, many times senses something.
Oh, okay, but you didn't say that out loud.
Or are you gonna jig his up, or are you gonna play the player?
Well, I mean, she said he might be playing this though. So
Oh, so you did say that.
yeah.
All right. So then he struggles and he starts to try to break free from the grapple
So I guess it didn't work.
as a reaction. But you clamp down on him and you throw him back to the ground. And he's
I dig the talons in a little more.
Are we-
so that your turn? You did your spell. It didn't
spell?
work. So that's down to Christiana.
What did you roll?
Christian, sorry.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 5. On the first, it was an 18 plus 2.
All right, so Viltor's not... Okay, so she said that, right? That he's...
And then he started struggling. It was obviously
Yeah, that's not okay. Let's see here. Let's see what we would do. Okay, I have like...
You'll pay! You let me go now, or you'll pay! With
Vil-
your lives!
Okay. So, Viltor...
Do you know who I am?
He wants to talk.
I know who you are. You're dead meat. If you don't help us and give us the answers that we want, and I will bury you right here, right now.
Okay.
Who gave you? This is the bread guy, right?
So you just asked. Yep. You just.
So
asked
I'm just trying to make sure I know
Yep.
who I'm barking at.
Murum the spider.
So Murum, the spider. Who directed you to do this?
Why should I tell you anything?
Because I'm going to bury you.
It won't be the first time.
But it could be your last.
Maybe. Do you want to intimidate him
With your 500 teeth.
or persuade him? Hey, describe how you would intimidate him, and I might get.
That does sound like an intimidation.
So, okay. Oh, I got an idea. They're not great, right? I don't have super. They're both the same. Persuasion and intimidation. They're both +2. I'm being Viltor. Viltor does not truck with this clown. So I will roll that. But what I will do is I will cast the mold earth, and I'll excavate 5 feet adjacent to
I
him.
love it. I love it.
Okay, I'll cast mold earth. I'll rip out the 5 feet to the
Yeah. So,
somewhere.
so the stone slabs part like a casket, and dirt comes mounding out.
I'm like, and here it is.
I love it. You got advantage, by the way.
Awesome. That's good.
That was awesome. Great,
That was terrible.
Great.
Oh my god. Okay, so that's 2 nat ones in a row.
Wow.
So that's what I did.
So-
I yelled really loud. I excavated the ground and told him, that's where you're going.
So at first he sees this, he's like, "This is something new," and then he looks at your surprise at just how he's responding, and then he kind of regains his confidence, and he's like, "Whatever, man, this is nothing. You put me in here, there'll be 10 more of me tomorrow."
Okay. And
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Hold on. Let's see if there's something else back here.
In bonus actions.
That's what I'm looking for. Bear with me here.
So that'll bring us back to the top of the order with Ken.
I'm for.
Oh, sorry. No, it's Dave.
Well,
Glenn and then Dave. Sorry.
Everybody going?
I gave you the first
Okay.
spot. So
Yeah.
So you tried to charm him. You tried to intimidate him. You were sort of standing by if he got loose.
Yeah.
well, that was last turn.
Okay.
Yeah, no bonus action, so that's my turn.
Okay. That puts us back to the top of the order with Glenn.
Well, yeah. I'm
You're
holding him
still
down
doing the talons?
and yeah, digging the talons in more. Actually do an attack to
Well, you could. I
do a little
mean,
damage. This guy's just a
what's the purpose of? Are
Regular-
you trying to make some purpose to the?
to try to make him uncomfortable.
You're just trying to hurt him.
Yeah.
A little bit. We're
Or you're
serious.
trying to intimidate him. That's what I'm
Yeah.
getting at. Okay.
So
So instead of doing
Lots of
damage, you
pain.
can do an advantage with intimidation.
okay. And for that, I'd use my normal stats, right? Because the bird doesn't have intimidation, but
Intimidation is a skill.
Wisdom.
yeah, but it says you keep your
Your mental
stats
stats.
and stuff, right? Okay. So intimidation. Oh. Okay. Or I could. Okay, if I just do it.
You roll an intimidation, and I'll see if it beats his confidence or whatever his resistance to your intimidation.
All right.
I've already rolled, so
Oh, I got an 18.
So he feels everything clenching in him, and he like reaches over and grabs his dagger and he stabs it into one of your talons cuticles, temporarily making you just dislodge that instant, like through reflex. You just your talon comes off, but the other two hang on. So he's still grappled, but it obviously didn't have the effect that you thought it would. And now he's got a dagger in his hand. Does anybody? So it's in his hand.
Did it have to do damage?
Yeah, sure.
You should roll attack.
I should roll an attack. That's just that's 20 non-natural 20 to hit.
Okay.
I don't even know if I'm right on the right die.
D4 plus strength usually.
It's D4.
Or dexterity. Or a dagger.
All right, so it's 1 damage to you.
Okay.
It's really meant to be inconsequential damage anyways. You guys have them, barring him getting away from you, this is going to be just a matter of getting past his intimidation. And you guys have done a lot of stuff, it just isn't sticking. So
and I just afraid if I actually attack him, I'll kill him.
Right.
He's just a regular.
You don't want to kill him, right?
He seems like a normal commoner.
Human, yeah.
Yeah, which means
Not-
he has
not-
Not a commoner necessarily.
which means he's got what, like 1 hit point?
Well, that's what I'm trying to get at. Do we sense that he is,
You don't sense he's magically protected.
or he's kind of buffed up?
Might be magically delicious.
He's a spy. He's a spy / assassin. This guy is no joke.
So he doesn't just have 1 hit point.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he's not you guys, but he's definitely.
He's not a commoner.
He's not going to die if you squeeze him for 20 points.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so next, you're done, Glenn? Bonus action?
Well, yeah, I did my intimidations. That was my
right.
action.
That was
right?
your action.
Yeah.
You're up.
He's been running away from us. We've caught up into him. It's been a couple rounds that we've had him pinned. What do I see on his person?
So, yeah, he's got a dagger in his hand at the moment.
Yeah.
You see that he has another dagger in his holster. Yep. He's got a couple pouches. He has like an outer cloak. Mm-hmm. It's not cinched, but it also is kind of not loose. Mm-hmm. It's kind of hanging around him a little bit. So it gives him a little bit extra space, you might say. Someone like yourself with a passive perception of 22, she would notice that there's something on his person, maybe, that's very well concealed. And maybe, like, not like a gun, but like how you would conceal a gun and hide it.
So he has he has a cloak on. Does he have straps across his chest and across his torso? Yeah. Perdusi's going to liberate him from those. He's got untie his belt and pull it out so that maybe his bags or any weapons would just fall to the ground.
So, I'm trying to think if you need to roll something for that.
Well, let me tell you.
Sleight of hand.
My sleight of hand is plus 15.
So, he's grappled. You would have had advantage on that. We're just going to wait.
Yeah.
So you pull off his belt, and you see the robe kind of loosens a little bit. And
his
you're
pants sag.
You're going to take the pouches that are attached to his belt.
They'd all fall to the ground, right?
And there's some poison. There's simple.
A thing I'm thinking of when I do that. Have you ever tried to run when your pants are undone? He'd have to be holding them up.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That's what's going through my head. So not only would he, if he tried to escape, would he have to be holding?
You liberated him of his belt.
But also anything connected to that belt is on the ground. Any possessions he had, that dagger, if it was in a pouch on that belt,
it's all off of him now.
That's
except the one blade in his hand.
Sure.
It's not his turn yet, so he can't react again.
Yeah, so bonus action disengage.
So that's all you're gonna do is you're gonna take the belt and the pouches on his belt off.
That's right.
Not his robe, not anything
else. I feel like that's one turn.
You're gonna
take the stuff, or
I think you could search him if you wanted to search him.
No, because
contested. He's got a blade.
I feel like I jumped down there for 10, 15 feet. My action was to pants him, right? And then my bonus action's disengage, and I'm going to use the rest of my movement to get back up on the wall.
All right, back in the.
And maybe I'll do more in the next turn. I'm 15 feet away. Yeah.
But the stuff's on the floor now, so other people can grab it.
Yeah, if they want to.
PR, it's your turn.
Okay, so he took a knife, stabbed my new friend. What limb of his is most accessible?
He's on the ground flailing.
Probably the hand with the knife.
He's got a hand with a knife that's
And
free and
I imagine the eagle's on his chest, so probably his legs are kind of
Okay.
flailing.
Hand with knife. That seems like a good. Okay, so all right. If you don't want to answer these questions, how about an easier one? How did you lose your hand?
I didn't lose my hand.
And then I'm going to try to cut off his hand. Like, wait, just swing it at his hand.
All right.
Well, I guess his wrist. I want a clean cut, and if it's possible, use my mad skills to have it so it goes into the hole that was conveniently.
Tickle fights are over.
Nice.
All right. Would you make him do this with disadvantage? For the shot.
First of all, I love it.
I like the shot call.
I love the shot call, but it's not part of D&D.
Right. I don't care about it.
So good. So yes. So you would raise his armor class.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
I'll raise the armor class.
Or maybe have him do attack. See if he hits. It's grappled with advantage.
There you go.
But then have him roll a medicine check or a nature survival check to see how well.
Right. So yeah, 2 rolls. First one is to see if you hit it all.
All right.
But that's with advantage
And
because he's grappled.
grappled, so it's with advantage.
Yep, because he's grappled.
All right.
Okay, to get it in just the right place.
Yeah, now you got to do a little more. Right?
The natural 20.
So you have a clean eye on his hand. Now roll to see if you hit his hand or his elbow, or you just cut a couple fingers.
Maybe you got a finger.
You gotta use a medicine, nature, survival, anything like that?
and let's do a medicine check.
That feels appropriate.
You're trying to be surgical.
That's right.
Feels right.
All right, medicine. Here we go. 12.
So you.
Yeah.
No pluses on that?
Nope.
So you're going down, you're swinging, you're right
is
on for
raging.
the wrist. And as soon as you reach for you get to the wrist, he realizes you're getting his hand. And he pulls back and you get 4 of his fingers. You get the 4 fingers, you leave his thumb. So you cleave him right off.
And blood starts.
Well, and
He
he
starts
drops the
screaming.
knife too. At that
He starts screaming. But then he, half a second later, he starts composing himself. And he's just grunting. I never talked. All right. He is now bleeding. He's taken. I'll just say it was. Oh, why don't you roll?
Yeah, you should roll damage.
For that.
So you see if you hit an
All
artery or
right.
not.
Okay, I gotta turn
Yeah,
on the
4 very
rage
small ones.
bonus.
Oh, jeez. Maybe he does die.
Or you pull your shot.
he only
Yeah,
he puts in his fingers though.
I mean, you could go for minimal damage.
You could say non-lethal.
He only hit his fingers, so
Technically,
I love the.
I chopped off his finger. Oh, whoops! And I stabbed him in the chest
Right.
with the follow through.
Yeah.
I non-lethally did 100 points of damage.
Yes.
Okay.
I chopped off his
So-
fingers and a large portion of his neck.
Non-lethal.
24 damage.
24 damage.
There we go.
He is looking pretty upset. I wouldn't say he's down. He's not bloodied yet, as Dave would put it.
Right. I was like,
That it hurt. I mean, he's
swing number 2, because I missed his hand. Gotta try it again.
Nice.
Hold still.
All right, same
If you rolled a
scenario.
nat 1 on the medicine check, gets the neck or something.
That looks some.
Alright, a 27.
Yeah. Second one. Second roll.
Alright, second
If you're going.
15 on the medicine check.
Okay.
All right.
All right, that's better.
And then
That's not what I wanted.
This time you get it.
non-lethally. I want to emphasize non-lethally.
Okay. So,
So only 11 damage.
all right. So he is bloody now, as Dave would put it, and he's like, okay. And
That's right.
he's now ready to talk.
Good, because I was winding up for a third one.
Leave it to the barbarian to go to the excess.
Want another?
Exactly.
Can we go for the elbow?
I think he knew you were serious for real. All right, so that is your action. You got a bonus action.
I mean, if he wants to get hit again, I can bonus action.
I think he just said, "I'll talk."
I'll leave him. Actually, if for flavor wise, I'll pick up his digits and toss them into the hole.
Nice.
All right, that's inspiration worthy. That's inventive
Nice.
thinking to add the intimidation on top of the insult.
One at a time.
It's not a mic drop; it's a digit drop.
Yeah.
Nice.
Digi drop. All right, so
That's my boy.
that's your bonus action. So we're on to Wes.
So he's on
Soraya.
you would say a slab of stone.
Yeah, so I'd say he's at the base of the stairs, kind of like grappled by this, eagle, holding his wrist, what's left of it,
With what? His thumb?
his other hand.
But his. Wait a minute. He lopped off?
He lopped off the fingers.
Yeah.
Then he came back. I assumed he went
Yeah.
with the same hand.
No,
Yeah.
he was going for the other hand, weren't he, Ken?
I went for the same hands
Oh,
because
same
I
hand.
wanted to cut off the hand and I missed,
Yeah.
so I had to
I
try
figured
again.
that's what
Oh,
he-
try again. Okay.
Yeah. So
I
he
just
got
double-checking.
Yeah, no, that was a good point. I might have missed it. So yeah, he's holding it with his other hand, and he's just trying to fledglingly struggle against the talons. He is now ready to talk.
Christiana,
Soraya.
Soraya. Damn it, it's gonna take me a
You did
while.
post a note with your name.
Yeah, do you have post-it
You don't
notes?
have it done by the end of the
My
campaign.
name is.
By session 3,
Yeah,
you'll have it
Yeah,
right.
your name tag. Hello, my name is Soraya.
Better take my notes.
Montoya. He killed Varinka. Prepare to die.
You've lost my.
The six-fingered man. Love it.
She is gonna use stone shape, and she is gonna touch the stone slab, and she is gonna form it into. I'm trying to think of what the shape. I'm thinking it would basically create straps across him and each of his limbs
Of stone.
of stone and lock him down. Obviously, you're around you, so you're free to go.
Okay. All right. Like that.
So, okay, sort of
I like it.
stone cocoon on him.
Yeah,
All right.
Well,
Stone
picture Frankenstein's monster, but the
Yeah.
steel is actually stone.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's your action.
And
Is there like a save or anything like that? Nothing?
no, it's because stone shape.
Right.
It's,
Okay.
he's pinned
That's
in
what I thought,
place
but I
and-
just thought
yeah,
I'd ask.
The save would be against the strength of the stone.
yeah. Or if he wasn't, pinned, it could be like
Maybe a dexterity check to
or something.
wiggle out.
All
right.
That. But
Bonus action?
well, I guess I'm thinking that she would. Let's just start the questioning, right? So
Yeah.
she'll ask one question. We can each go around. So to start it off, where did the poison come from?
He was. I need it. I made it myself.
Okay.
Where did the poison come from? That's what you asked.
Yeah. No, yep. And
So next up, is
next-
just follow the initiative order. Nice Christian.
Who sent you?
Isn't it obvious? I am with the Zentarum.
Who specifically?
He looks at you for a moment, gazing back in hatred, feeling the pain in his hand. Derblin sent me.
Excellent.
Derblen.
Excellent. Next. Third one.
So that would be the top of the order, I believe.
I think there's one person.
Yep. So,
No, actually, so now,
that's
well, no, but you've pinned him down now.
yeah, so he's restrained now by the
Okay.
stone, so you could
So I can use my bonus action to turn back into myself. So it was, and I can understand common even when I'm in that shape, so I know what's going on. Where'd you get the poison? Who sent you? Where did they take her? Where did they take Varinka?
Nice.
he thinks about it.
There's grave all ready for you.
Fingers are already in it.
And you've seen, based on what my friends can do, we could just bury you alive.
She's on her way to the Black Road.
Do I get another one, or just
You get one question. I think that was the...
Just
okay.
going one at a time. Yeah.
Parducci swings down, and seeing that there was more to the... As she pulled the belt off, there's more to it. He starts searching his body for that other thing he had concealed.
Investigation check.
All right.
With advantage.
Yeah.
He can't do anything to hide it.
13 plus my investigation. My investigation of 10 is 23 with advantage. And
You
it's still
find a
20.
scroll
Oh.
hidden in a hidden pocket inside the robe.
Well, this
And
is interesting.
On the back, yeah, it looks like a inconspicuous menu from a restaurant, but on the back,
Panda bears. I think I can turn into that.
on the back you see a secret message, and right about then, I think he passes out from the pain
And blood loss.
and blood loss. So you could roll him over into the hole and bury him.
Well, he's strapped
Yes,
down,
I could.
And what is...
He's strapped down.
and I can't undo the stone shape. So
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a one-time use spells. Well, once per like long rest or something like that.
Nice.
So
So
you just mold earth and just
Right.
I'm going to show you what they see. Just give
And
me a
what
second.
exactly are these?
giant multicolored bears from Oreo.
Oreo.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You should be able to see this in Discord.
Fun. No. That's fun.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. I was
It's
trying to do
all
invisible ink.
idiom.
I couldn't get it to work.
I would give you inspiration, but you're on the wrong side.
What? It's a page full of
never give
Idioms.
the DM inspiration.
Yes, idioms.
janitor. Wait, why is janitor in the middle of that?
If you can't stand the heat, get out.
Of the kitchen?
So I don't know. Does that matter? That
You-
would identifying the part that was left out. Get out. You don't count your chickens before they hatch.
Must.
Must few
Oh, okay.
sandwiches short of a picnic. Leave.
So there's words in between all the
Kodak.
idioms.
We need
So
the-
you
The
da, da,
primer.
da, must
You guys get
Da, da,
this
da,
much
da.
faster than I thought you would.
for picnic. You must leave immediately for our newest wait, what?
Fork port of fork. Fork port of fork.
Call
Yada yada.
for quality.
We need the primer. We need the thing that lays over that has the dashes in it.
Now, curiosity killed the cat for the plot thickens. Our quality time newest fork port of fork for our newest call for the plot thickens
Oh, there's slaves in there.
for shipping out slaves. You must. What did I say? You must leave immediately for our newest call.
Port of call.
Port of call.
I'm totally lost.
For something about the slaves.
Hey, Glenn, you're very much on it, but I don't think you have it all put together yet.
Yeah, but the fork port of fork call is throwing that part's throwing me off.
No, I think it's newest port of call, and then for
shipping out slaves.
yes.
Where are we picking? Where's this other one? Janitor.
I think they're picking out the extra words.
Arrive. For janitor, arrive within.
Arrive is
10th day of the summertide.
There you go.
Are you just picking out the words? Or are you?
Yeah, you pick out the words that aren't part of a colloquialism.
Yeah.
Except fork keeps coming up for some reason. Mansum to use the teleportation circle in Teshwave. And reach Molemaster.
Then
double time to Thursolgol. Surligal, period.
Be warned.
Be warned, Marsh.
Verbene.
Verbene.
Verblend.
Tracking
your
progress.
I'm going to scroll here.
And quick.
Oop, jumped. Sorry. There's progress.
It's tracking your progress.
Just be typing
this
yeah, I'm sure you're
Don't bother. Once you get all the way through it, I'll give it to you.
All right.
Okay, tracking your progress and will not tolerate
So you would know
delays
from history.
Delays,
that is
period.
The emblem, the symbol of Loviatar.
Fazul himself,
the goddess, mistress of Bane,
is overseeing.
Okay.
Is overseeing this demonstration
goddess
of power in our newest port. Period. Bane be praised. We all be rich with.
Oops, sorry. Trying to get
with new promotions and slaves of our own when this Goliath wench is executed on
schedule.
Period. Okay.
Well done.
So how did you figure that out? What? I don't.
Okay. Curiosity killed the cat. A few sandwiches short of a picnic. No ifs, ands, or buts. All these idioms. So you have to ignore that and just read the words
that are
in between.
Or the or
and different. Fork for some reason is also thrown in there.
So to read it out loud all together for you, you must leave immediately for our newest port of call for shipping out slaves. Period. arrive within 10th day of the summertide period. Pay Manxam to use the teleportation circle in Teshwave and reach Mulmaster, and then double time it to Surlegal period. Be warned, Clarg and Durblin, I think you might have missed Clarg.
Yeah.
Clarg and Durblin tracking your progress and will not tolerate delays, period. Fazul himself, who you would know as the leader of the Zentarum and an exarch, so he's the demigod, is overseeing this. Oh, he's also undead. He's a lich, I believe. Fazul himself is overseeing this demonstration of power in our newest port of call, port, period. Bane be praised, we will all be rich with new promotions and slaves of our own. When this Goliath wench is executed on schedule, period. So basically, you now know they're taking her to Teshwave to teleport her to Mulmaster to take her to Surlegal, where she'll be executed.
Those three things are all places?
So Teshwave is a town about 250 miles from. Yeah.
Faerun map and
also after that let's touch on the dates that you, the 10 days
10
before.
days of something tide,
10 days
summertime?
before summertide.
in Foundry. Go to the Faerun map.
Yeah. It's probably going to leave you empty, Ken. You know,
That's okay. I've got Discord up, so.
All right.
That's it.
All right.
Drag it to the left. Zoom in.
So you see yourselves on the "you are here" on the left that Dave so nicely put in there for us.
You can drag that.
So this line right here is the Black Road. So you're gonna have to get yourselves to the Black Road. At least that's what the way they went. Then there's Dagger Falls in between, and then they're going to go to Teshwave, which is where the marker is now.
And there was a teleportation to someplace else.
Mulmaster, which is on the far side of the Moon Sea,
Which is over here.
You'll also see the next over is
Zental Keep,
which is their main.
which is the second headquarters. It used to be the primary, but now it's the second. Anyways, Mulmaster's over here. And then you have to go down. See if I can get this in there. So from Mulmaster, they're going to go down this road through Dragon Falls, almost to Pro Camper, and then they're going to take a left turn. And here's Surlegal. And this is the newest port that they're using to ship slaves out of.
Okay. And we're going to sacrifice
And she's
the
going to be
Goliath wench
executed
for
there.
some reason.
She's going to be executed there as a show of their power and ability to suppress those that would stand against them.
Okay.
You guys would be fairly 15th level. You're pretty familiar with most of Faerun at this point. So if you have any questions, I'd give them to you.
And then
This is a about 1,200-mile trip.
So the dates.
So the 10th of Pro Camper is 27 days, 28 days. We'll say 28 days to make it even.
from
28 days from where you are now. If you walked, or rode a horse, it's 1,200 miles, and you got 28 days to get there. This is the end of the month. Just make it easy.
to where your pointer is now.
Yes,
The
to
port.
get from over here to there in
Unless we
28
could-
days.
Okay.
1,200 miles.
That's where. Okay. But maybe we could intercept before that at one of the other towns.
That is your
Or
challenge.
on the road.
Eastbound and down. Loaded up the truck. So, what do you do next? You got 15 minutes to get outfitted.
So
Time
do
she's
I?
getting farther down the road.
So do I have a carriage and driver like I described?
Yeah.
So I do have a carriage and horses and a driver.
With space for us all.
So there's room for 4 in the carriage, and there's room for 2, the driver and 1 other. So I think we have 5 of us, right?
Plus 2 more.
So who are the other 2?
You're Are you bringing
There's
your...
there's
Unless
5.
you're gonna leave.
Oh no. So my entourage, I'm thinking doesn't fit, right? So I travel with an entourage. I have a driver. I have Charlemagne, my scribe, and I have 2 female attendants. Right? I can tell Charlemagne and the attendants to stay.
The highest maintenance adventure ever.
Well, push came to shove, we could fly.
Yeah.
Could be gentlemen and let her have her entourage.
Soria could always take a camel.
Take it away.
Camel. And we can fly, so it would be possible for her to maintain her entourage.
Well, and actually, I was thinking maybe we want to fly because we can go faster. Maybe we can
Yeah, right.
haul us ahead and maybe find them.
True.
Where is your entourage through all this?
And they're in the room.
Okay. They're waiting for you.
We've got the best room in
Holding
the
up
inn,
your
I'm
dress
sure.
Yeah. Oh, I
The
forgot.
trains.
Change to our...
Crawley's probably staying in the stables. He's the coach driver.
So horse carriages, transportation's arranged.
So I have that, right? That's the option. Now, I can't change into a bird.
We could try to scout ahead.
Yeah.
I don't know if you
For,
get the
for
same.
1,200 miles.
I can be a giant eagle for 7 hours at a time.
Let's see. But can an eagle fly 7 hours at a time?
7 hours straight.
With the 15 minutes, 10 minutes left we have, there's one room you didn't even go in, besides you.
In the hotel or where
You
we
never
are
went
now?
into Varinka's room.
We went in.
You did.
I did, and I
Not
collected.
everybody else.
I collected her stuff and I put it in the bag of holding.
Oh, you did. I didn't hear that.
We did talk about
Okay.
that at least.
Well, I didn't remember that.
Yeah, because the blade, right?
Okay.
In case we rescue her, we want her to have her weapon.
We
Yeah,
talked about it. I'm
yeah,
not
I
sure.
remember you talking about it, but
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
I'm not
okay.
sure. On our way out, let's say, after this...
Well, are you saying there's more information to glean there?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
After this, we would go back to the room and...
during your thorough inspection of the materials that you're packing up to take with you, to learn anything new about what she was doing, where she was going, there'd be a letter for Viltor. I believe it was you.
Okay.
It might have. No, it actually was you, because you were supposed.
Oh yeah,
Because you're their friend.
yeah.
Yeah, you're the friend. And you're the lizard folk too. That's the other part that I keyed in on. So, well, above the table. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Human.
Ruining the. Anyways, so you would see that she had found she had heard word of a mass grave outside of Dagger Falls where lizard folk and Goliaths had been buried, or suspected to be buried, that were slaves in transport and didn't make it.
As luck would have it, she's going right by there, so maybe she can
Well, it was like points eastward, right? So,
take a turn off there.
but
Yeah,
it's
those
also
slaves.
close. It's a lot closer to Zental Keep, and it's so. I'll move the icon there so you can see it a little easier. Dagger Falls.
Near there. Okay.
Yeah, and the map would probably even put it somewhere towards the woods before Dagger Falls. So that's the only other piece of information you guys have.
Okay. So
Oh, by the way, before we get too far, I took whatever stuff this guy had. Any
Yeah, okay.
gold,
He didn't really have
any
anything.
vials,
At this point, I don't think money or
That's really not the.
it's not your.
And we just buried him under the floor.
It just goes. It's for the
Well,
children.
what did you do with him? Did you kill him? Did you let him go?
He's alive, right?
Yeah.
He'll figure his way out.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's still pinned under the stone.
He's just pinned there.
Okay.
And that's what Soria was planning to just...
Does it end at
Okay.
some point? Does that stone go away at some point?
So someone's got to chisel him out.
It's not like there are people
Sounds good.
around or in and out.
We could have killed him, but we shouldn't kill him. We're not killers, are we?
Of bullies.
Oh.
I just work for the bullies.
Close enough.
Kick.
You'll figure
You need
your
to
way
take
out.
pride in your work.
All right, so that's what we found this note. That's the other thing.
That was the only other piece of information
All
I
right.
really wanted to share with you.
So what's a? Are we saying we want to stop in this Dagger Falls?
Well, okay, so she was abducted in the middle of the night. It's now mid-morning, midday.
I'd say it's pretty close to noon at this point.
Okay,
So
they
how
they
long
got a 12-hour head start
if they went right away,
if they
which
went
they
right
probably
away
did.
and didn't stop. So, how long would it take to get to? They said they were going to teleport at.
So, what is
Trey,
it?
the one
It's
with the
30 miles a day at regular fast pace.
Oh, what I'm getting is, if we did fly, would we be able to catch up to them before they?
Well, if you do 60, that's so you get 60 miles in a day. Right, I'll give you double the distance, right? 30
That's probably
kilometers.
twice as fast as they're going,
Right, unless they're also
unless they're magically enhanced as
Yeah.
well. Which evidence is that there's some magical, at least in
Yeah.
my mind, for them to be able to subdue Varinka.
Yeah. So I mean, I like the idea. However, I mean, yeah, we might have to stop and rest
Right.
occasionally, but whatever. I think
you definitely could scout ahead.
we fly.
Right.
Yeah, try
Early.
to catch up to them and.
Pick up the trail if nothing else.
Yeah.
So do I bring my entourage and you guys fly amongst yourselves, or? All right, that's two
Yeah.
of you. That means there's two more. It's still a little tight. Cecilia Eloise. Let's
Well,
see.
Soria can get a camel if needed.
And your barbarian, I suspect,
You may
would be
notice
up
that-
by the driver.
The desert's only
Yeah.
for
Well,
about
hard to
100
fit him in a
miles, and
carriage.
then you're out of the desert. So the camel
You,
might
you
not
could
be-
trade your camel for a horse at
Yeah.
Dagger Falls, perhaps.
Absolutely.
It's more. I think I'm thinking like by the table more that's what Soria is comfortable with, right? She's
Yeah.
grown up in and around the desert.
So we'll tell.
Horses, camels.
We're in a carriage, though. Let's be sophisticated. So, fine. You can ride your camel behind us as we go, but we're not making up any time on these guys then.
So
It's a good. Good point.
we could fly ahead and try to catch up to them, and then I don't know, maybe we can push a tree down over the road or something, or knock a wheel off their wagon, something to slow them down.
20 feet,
Can you
20
turn
foot
into
down to
something
earth.
big
That's
for
going to
people
slow
to
him
ride?
down.
There you go. What'd you say, Ken?
Ooh.
Can you turn into something big enough for people to ride?
Yeah.
Giant eagle.
I still don't know if that'll get us there any faster. That's the conundrum at the moment. Is that take the carriage, camels, whatever. We're still only going to be going. We're not catching up.
Right.
Yeah.
They have a 12-hour lead.
Yeah. But if we can go harass them and slow
Right.
them down, either.
You can make that terrain really rough, really
yeah,
quick.
yeah.
My jam.
You can make 5-foot square potholes.
Well,
So-
no, with
That's
the
where we're
other
leaving for
with the other one,
Yeah,
you can
so we'll
make
do
it 20
that.
foot, 20
Yeah.
feet.
We'll do that, right? Those of us that can't turn into flying will take the carriage and the horses. My entourage sounds like they can come.
Yep.
And provisions, we have all the provisions to do this as well. And we make our way toward Dagger Falls. And first we're going to head due north to the Black Road. Fastest way, there should be a path
Yeah.
there to the Black Road, and then we'll take the Black Road toward Dagger Falls. And as we do this, you guys will be scouting ahead. Actually, you'll be traveling separate because you're not going to fly back to us.
No, you're right. We're gonna go try to hopefully find them and waylay them.
We're pushing to Dagger Falls in the hope that you're slowing them down.
Right.
That sounds like a plan.
It's a plan. Let's see how it works next week.
So, you know, if they get the Tesh wave, they're going to get a much bigger jump on you. Right?
Yeah.
Well, if we get to Tesh Wave, we're also teleporting.
How?
How?
We will find a way. But we know there's a teleportation circle.
Yeah.
there,
You'd
But-
probably know who Manxum is. Manxum he was a, name of it, just a beholder.
Oh my.
And he is now an undead beholder.
Well, there you go.
Oh boy.
What does that look like?
He has recently returned and taken back his position that he's vacated for
But with
10
my
years or so.
plus 14
our
persuasion,
retired
plus
Robert.
14
He's coming
deception, we'll find a way to.
I'm not. That's for you to figure out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is he the one running the teleportation circle? Is that what you're insinuating?
He
Beholder
runs Tesh
zombie.
Wave.
Runs Tesh
The
Wave.
town.
He is the
Yeah,
town.
zombie beholders.
Oh, the one of
Oh,
them's just a
that's
big floating skull. Ooh, oh yeah.
Well, look at it closer. All the eyes are floating.
it lost its spots.
What are you trying to do? Yeah, we left it on the meeting owl the whole time without the map, but that's
Oh,
okay.
That's okay. It was mostly theater of the mind, anyways.
Yeah.
Mostly.
But also, but looking at that map too, the birds could
What are you trying to do, Ben? Stop.
shave the corner too.
Sure.
They don't have to go north.